Warning, the following episode contains adult language and screaming goats. Listener discretion is advised.
Episode 195 of The Pinball Show. Dennis Kriesel is here, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for Dennis Kriesel. Oh, such a wonderful, magnificent, beautiful man. A specimen, if you will. Look at you all decked out. I'm Zach Meny. We're the hosts of this fine program. We've been gone a little bit, but we're back with a lot of stuff this week.
Been a lot of trauma out there.
Trauma and drama, baby.
That's right.
Trauma? What kind of trauma? Oh, no.
Didn't you have a flood?
The great
That's
flood.
why we missed 2 episodes ago was a flood.
We were
the great flood.
The great flood. Remodeling my basement and woke up to inches of water. But thankfully, perfect timing. If your basement's going to flood, how about doing it before you remodel? So we were still in demo mode. So yeah. But yeah, I couldn't be like, hey Nicole, deal with it yourself. I've got to record the pinball show. And it didn't work. So had to help out. I felt like a sailor down there trying to bucket water out of my boat.
You had your vacation after that. Yeah.
Went to Alaska. What a beautiful country there in Alaska. It feels like its own thing up there. Canada, went there. Vancouver. That was cool. Yeah.
That's like the fancy part of Canada.
Is it?
I read it was like the LA of Canada.
That makes sense. It felt like a hippie version of a wilderness place.
I've also seen it called the San Francisco of Canada.
Yeah.
So that would align with the hippiness even more.
It felt like that. Love that place. Canada. Boy, they've got some great people up there. Not the cyclists as much, but everybody besides the cyclist. Those cyclists can eat dirt, man. Well, not all of them. I don't want to broad stroke the cyclist thing.
Elite cycling
I don't want to do
listeners.
That. We about got killed by a cyclist in Vancouver because I didn't know the rules. It was a different country. I didn't know if they were on the different side of the road. They weren't, so that was good. But we've got 3 game releases. How many?
Finally. You know what? It is 2026, as I like to call it, not the year of Trough Jam, because we didn't miss anything, but we missed Sonic's official reveal. That's all that's been missed up until now. Perfect timing for these upcoming releases.
Seems like a huge year to me. We got Pokemon. We've got Sonic. We've got, what was at the beginning of the year from?
How are those achievements coming in Pokemon?
Pokédex.
How are they go? How's that going, Zach?
I was hoping they'd announce at Comic-Con that Pokemon Pinball now. We got a topper. That shipped. We got a topper and accessories.
Yeah, Magikarp.
Right now, everybody's like,
Splash isn't effective.
Transformers, they keep on rolling out like the greatest updates ever. So everybody is just fallen so deeply in love with Transformers. It's almost like while we're waiting on Pokemon approvals, it's like, keep throwing everything we've got at Transformers. What's that? They love it. Great. Give them accessories. So we have accessories now. That game, have you got a chance to play Transformers yet?
No, I have to look actually and see if we might even have it on location here yet. I hadn't seen an announcement, but I may have just missed it. Usually we get them quick. It's
been the hot seller right now is Transformers. Everybody, now that people have played it and stuff, because it kind of stumbled and bumbled out of the gate, and we discussed that. But now, as I called it, I knew that one would, once people played it and stuff, people are going, and that and John Wick, for whatever reason. John Wick had a nice little resurgence now. I guess is the Elliot Eisman effect. Is that, maybe that's what we're calling something that has a little bit of a not an initial boom, but It's got a tail. Does Elliot Eisman have a tail?
I mean,
physically?
I don't know.
Like on Shallow Hal, Jason Alexander? Oh my God. That reference just jumped out of my brain. I think it's true. I think Shallow Hal was the Jack Black flick, The Farrelly Brothers, where Jason Alexander played a character that had a physical little nubby tail because his tailbone was too long. So Elliot Eisman, I'm asking, do you have a nubby tail?
I don't think he listens to this show.
You don't think he's a fan, huh? Or maybe not.
No, I don't. But I also assume none of the designers listen to us.
You know who I'm a fan of? Stern Pinball. Well, we're going to talk about the releases, but
okay.
First there's been some changes in the scheduling at Stern Pinball, and I think we need to discuss them. The past couple of weeks, they've been making Transformers Premium and LEs. They had a little bit of a parts delay for the LEs, so they were making Transformers Premiums. They even threw in Godzilla Premiums recently to make those again, because a lot of dealers were needing some. So I think they're pretty much done with all the Transformers LEs. Maybe they're still making some premiums right now. Here's the kicker, though, viewer. The next couple of weeks over at Stern Pinball, you guess what they're making? I have no clue. Now, how many years have we been doing this? For the most part, I know what they're making next week. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. Here's the other odd thing. Not that I want to turn this into a controversy within the hobby. I can't tell you, Dennis, the last time that I didn't have any games back ordered at Stern Pinball. You know how it is. Like, you always have something back ordered because they're not going to make something for another couple months. You got these you've been waiting for, and one of my larger back orders had almost a truck full of Godzilla premiums, but they delivered those last week. So what I'm saying is, I don't have anything on back order at Stern. That's never really happened.
Could the line be idle?
I have no clue. It's kind of
and what is that? Odd. What does it mean?
I don't know.
There are rumors. There are always rumors, but there are rumors swirling that layoffs are coming at Stern.
Really? This is the first I heard about that. Interesting.
Me and Pepperidge Farm remember.
Okay. I don't know.
But they're just rumors. Who knows?
It's strange, though. It's a weird feeling because, I mean, guys, without giving too much info, I've been hundreds of games back ordered, different titles and such. 0. I don't think I have anything back ordered. If they make Black Knight Pro, I have some I told them I'd buy, but I don't know what they're going to make. But that also tells me maybe here in August, maybe we get something new from Stern Pinball. Oh, put it out there. Put it on the board. Do we see an anniversary released game here in August?
Probably just a Vault remaster.
I think remastered the last 2 years have come October, November.
They have. But I have a theory that
anniversaries come July, August.
My theory, though, is that Pokemon, they expected to have a longer tail than it did. And so, while I think maybe Transformers is doing like they thought, I think maybe they thought they would be running more Pokemons, and I don't think they need to. Because, it had huge sales up front. Again, my spies tell me that Pokemons aren't flying off the shelves now.
I'll tell you that.
And I think the state of the code is probably chiefly responsible, but, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that is tough because they satiated the hobbyist market initially because
the operators grabbed them too. So
they sold so many at the launch. They probably sold so many at launch of that game than they typically do Cornerstones for an entire year. So I'm not super worried about that. And I think I said it on the last episode, I still go back to that game, and that's the game that I hope they do get to the point because there's something that feels special about that game. I don't know what it is. I just really like the feel of that game.
It's fine that it sold great at the start, but this is Stern. I don't think they just assume everything sells the same level. They knew it would sell great. Yeah. And I think they thought it would have a long tail. I think they thought this was going to displace Godzilla.
Ooh. If they get the code up there, it could, but we'll see. So that's why I think maybe we see something here in August, an anniversary release. Now, the rumors of what they would release should be Batman 66. Should be.
But Batman 66 was never a cornerstone, so that's a little weird to go back to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've done it with Elvira, which also wasn't a cornerstone, where they did special editions. So
sure,
I wouldn't rule it out just because but there will never be a pro version of Batman 66. So does that factor into their analysis?
Not really, because when they did last year, they did Jaws 50th, and that was just a premium only version. The year before that, they did Godzilla 70th. That was just a premium option. So I think if anything, it would be just a premium option. However, my guess would be we're going to get a Goldfinger James Bond premium anniversary option. It's my guess, which will sell great too. But if given a choice, I don't understand why they wouldn't have done Batman 66. For the life of me, doesn't make sense to me. What's the argument? The only argument that would make sense to me is we can't get the license anymore. Then I'd say, well, why can't you get the license? If they said money, I don't know.
It was a Kapow it was a Kapow collaboration though, so there's probably an added layer of complexity.
Yeah, maybe. It's almost like anybody not
Bond
associated with
was so hard to work with. But I guess if all it is a new, skin of
art package,
probably no big
and a logo. So I don't know what we're going to see. Come September, though, we're going to see Godzilla Pro and Premiums again, and then at some point we're going to have a new cornerstone, I would think.
Should have a third one.
And by not having any back orders right now, I'm thinking to myself, maybe we see a sooner cornerstone. I don't know.
The rumors are Fallout.
That's the rumor.
I'm holding out hope for another original trilogy of Star Wars.
Sign me up. Sign me. I love the slow blink. The slow blink tells all. I still want that episodes 1 through 3.
At least it would be different. It would at least be different.
Barrels. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I want
episodes 1 through 3.
I want the Sand Edition anniversary. I hate it.
Oh man. So that's in September.
Gritty, it gets everywhere.
Come October, we have James Bond Pro and Premium, Jaws Pro and Premium, King Kong Pro and Premium, Metallica Remastered Premium, and Pokemon Pro. That is their plan. So that tells me we're not going to see a damn thing in October because they're filling up the entire month with planned build. And
what if they drop the cornerstone in August?
Yeah, maybe they bump that. Could be. And then build in September. Could be. I don't know. I think if anything,
Fallout save them.
Maybe we see a remastered released in October, and then they build them in November. Come November, they're going to make Star Wars Fall of the Empires again, Pro and Premium. December, D&D Pro, Pokemon Premium, Transformers Pro. And to add, they have now vaulted Venom. So
I don't think they're going to do another remaster this year. I think they're going to skip this year.
Oh, okay. I don't think they will, but all right. We'll see. Jersey Jack Pinball. JJP has been shipping out. I just wanted to update everybody. Shipping out all different models of Sonic. Is that they do it so different every release, but this time around they're trying to get everything they can to locations. So they ask dealers, "Hey, how many of each model do you have going to arcades or locations?" We gave them the information. They've been prioritizing trying to send us dealers those location games. So if, let's say, I have 300 of a game ordered, but only 5 locations for a CE or something, they were trying to send 5 rather than focused on, well, he's got 300, So they're trying to get those on location, which is, it was interesting to see them change up that rapidly. It was almost like every week or two they were jumping back and forth between arcade SEs. SEs were the newest batch that they're trying to get to locations. Or the special edition. And then CEs, they started with those. I anticipate them going back to those fairly soon because they're kind of leaving the CE people in the dust right now. They've shipped a lot of the other models, but they're due for a big run, I would think, of CEs if they have the parts. So, and speaking of Sonic, we didn't get to cover it, like you said. We didn't get to go fast. We talked about some of the leaked stuff, but I'd like to go over that a little bit. And people want to hear your take, Dennis. They don't want to hear my take. But we can do that exclusively on our Patreon club membership, patreon.com/The Pinball Show. Sign up, and you'll go over our reactions, maybe some behind-the-scenes things, our experience with the game, whether we like it, whether we don't, what the sales are doing now that we're, a month or so past, how that all is going down. Do you think people will be surprised by your take?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Do you say Robotnik or Eggman?
I've done both.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It kind of depends on the context. So like when talking about the movies, I say Robotnik. Eggman sometimes wins the video games.
I see. Do you play any of those games still?
I never played very many Sonic games.
Wow.
I never owned a Sega system, so.
Oh, that is
I've
heartbreaking.
Played a couple, yeah, well,
that's heartbreaking.
Some of us had Nintendo instead.
Nintendo don't. The way I see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was their so edgy. That was the 90s with the edgy ad campaigns.
Sega. Yeah, that's right. Nintendos are for grandmas.
Baby game where you don't want any blood, where Mortal Kombat has to show sweat when you hit people. Oh my
gosh, remember that? Man, that was good. Sega was like when you were drinking Surge. And do you remember Surge?
Yes, I remember.
That yellow-orange liquid that pissed out yellow and orange, and you thought you had a kidney problem. Like, oh, Mom, my pee is green. It was bad. Shit was bad. Okay.
Surge.
So yeah, go to patreon.com/The Pinball Show, and we'll get into that. Because I've heard content creators having different takes on Sonic, so we'll discuss that as well. It's time to talk about a new release.
Wow.
It's Multimorphic time.
It's morphin time.
What's going with that?
Little Morbin time. I'm doing a little Morbius reference.
That's right. That's what I was doing. I was trying to.
Okay. I thought maybe you were Mighty Morphin Power Rangering it.
Mighty McMorphic.
I never saw Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so I don't know anything about it.
You don't watch that either?
No.
You were too busy watching Nintendo.
This is so mean.
Multimorphic.
I wish you were nice like me.
With their P3 system. Now, for years, I know I have been a fan of this system, this platform. You know, I've kind of put my neck out there for this company. I really believed that they were kind of where I was at. It's just, it feels like the rest of the community kind of late to the party. I'm not going to bust your balls too much, but some of us called it from the beginning, and some are late to the party. Welcome though. Welcome. All you haters out there, negative people. What was and always will be Multimorphic. So Multimorphic has the P3 system, this modular system, almost like a video game where you put different game consoles into the back third. And they've had, I don't know how many releases, countless releases. They're probably up to 19.
They are countable. I mean, it is finite.
I don't know how many modules they have. 6, 7.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't
8?
Counted. They probably say on their website.
That probably does, but
their
we're more
distributors
natural.
Probably know. Like when they try and sell their product, they probably go, do you know how many modules you can fit in this bad boy? You slap the side of the magnetic decal.
That's one. They have 10. 1, 2, 3.
10. That's double
3.
Digit. Wow.
No, they don't have 3, 4.
That's
5,
more
6,
than
7,
many
8.
consoles have games on release.
They have, check this out. They have 8 game kits and 9 if you count third-party game kits because they had Drained.
Yes.
I'm like an expert when it comes to Multimorphic now. Mm-hmm. You know how many people are rolling their eyes at this whole discussion so far? We'll get to the goods. We'll get to the goods, guys. All right.
Where they're going, they won't need eyes to see.
I don't think we'll ever see that game ever come out.
Probably not now. Not Sam's not with us.
Barrels, Spooky, JJP, Stern. Call Universal. seems like that Back to the Future license is burning as we speak. They have more people falling apart at that company. I think another person left. It's going to be one guy with a hammer putting together DeLoreans on a playfield with a nail. They'll buy it because this license is huge.
I love how you think they have the DeLorean.
That's right.
It's clock towers. It's clock towers for days. Maybe they got the rights to use the likeness of Einstein, the dog.
It was a Pontiac Fiero that's shaped. It's like a kit car.
I still, if I had the skill, talent, and funding to homebrew, I would do a homebrew Back to the Future solely so that I could have Marty McFly played by a russet potato in honor of the Daddy East version. Just be in his outfit, a little potato going around with his little hat. Making out with his potato mom.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's I had to explain it to the kids when I showed them that movie. Well, so this was the 80s.
But Multimorphic, they're not doing Back to the Future right now.
Not yet, but maybe Jerry. I'm telling you, with this partnership, maybe we talked to Bob Gale.
And he could have a new innovative potato mech. Like it could peel the potato or something.
So first off, before we jump into Multimorphic's new releases, my company, distribution company Flip N Out Pinball, has recently partnered up as a new distributor for Multimorphic. How about that? Oh, I hear the crowd going wild.
Well, well, folks, get ready to hear some positive things about the upcoming releases.
That's right. All positive. No, I'll be real, and then we'll see how real Jerry will be with me. This is probably Jerry's one thing. He was like, we will see. I'm
wondering his anxiety could be, I don't know him well, so I don't know if he's prone to high blood pressure, but I know from hearing from other companies that they do tend to get nervous with what you might say on this show. So that's what my sources tell me.
We have a whole history. Man, we've been doing this for how long, Dennis? We've been doing this
like 7 years or something?
A long time.
It's been a while.
But people grow. People change. Cooler heads prevail. Isn't that the term?
Sure.
Okay. So, but we struck a partnership that we've been working on, discussing with Multimorphic since February, I think. February was our first sit-down meetings that we were, again, behind pinball, behind the curtains here, if you guys are interested. Just kind of hashing out details, what this partnership may look like. And the Multimorphic group have been nothing short of fantastic the entire time. So it's been great discussing what each company can do in a partnership, and it's been great. I've been loving every minute of it. And I like challenges at times. So if there was like a history and stuff, it's like, that I embrace awkward. I embrace like uncomfort for people. Like it doesn't bother me. So that's been fun as well. But we're in a good place and I'm excited about it. But we did like this video, and I caught the hobby by a little storm here. Did a little video announcing this, and people loved it, or some of them hated it. Some said it was really cringe. People were very opinionated on this little bitty video of me and Greg and Ken announcing a partnership with Multimorphic. It was wild, and it was fun making, but it was like an hour. It's like, hey, what do we do in an hour that we can just whip together to announce working with Multimorphic? Some podcasts are saying I'm like extorting people and exhibiting fraud. So some podcasts say, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since Pepperidge Farms. And we even had a pinball manufacturer spoof the video that we did. That's how you know it's hotness. Our friends over at Spooky Pinball were like, this opportunity is too great for us to pass up.
Why?
Zach and Ken and Greg, and because they like busting our balls and having fun.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Because they're cute and that's what they do. They do cute well.
Well, maybe I'll need to watch it. I saw it posted. I haven't watched it.
Oh, it was great. But then some people that watched that thought that they were like being mean to us. And for the people that don't like us, they were like, oh, well, yeah, stick it to Flip N Out, Spooky. Like, just think about that dynamic, people. So that was fun.
Do you think more people would like you and your company if you hadn't lost that Turtles hat for Joel?
The beef sticks and
do you think that's the source of it?
I don't
think it's the candy. I think it's the irreplaceable turtle hat.
If we were miserable, I think people would leave us alone. If we weren't happy, if we didn't do well, if we didn't treat customers great, if we didn't excel, people just like to shit on what's they're insecure about. I don't know. Multimorphic launches. So I'm going to give myself props here. I kind of from a business standpoint, because people are like, how are you going to explain your history with Multimorphic and the opinions you've said publicly to selling their product now? And I want to at least address that because I don't want to like glaze over it or anything. So what I would say is for people that are really worried about that, first off, why do you care? Second, if you are worried about that, use your brain. Why might somebody want to go that sells products might want to sell more products? So there's your answer. Very simple. But the meat of it is I was pretty intrigued by Portal. Not gonna lie. We've talked about this, Dennis. Like, go back. Anybody can go back. I welcome you to that. And here are all my takes on Portal. That was like a kind of a turning point for me. Like Princess Bride, I liked that they got a theme that really kind of made sense to pinball people and the nostalgia there. And it was a witty movie. It just didn't land for me because I just never really watched that movie growing up. But I liked where they were going because I was like, that's the type of theme that I think people want in pinball. But it just didn't hit for me. Portal came along, again, a theme that did nothing for me, but damn, it was cool. And say what you want about the system or anything, the damn game was cool. So I kind of was really paying attention after that. So February, I reached out and I'm like, and we've had so many customers that want a P3 machine and like, hey, I ended up going with somebody else or because I buy everything from you, but you guys don't sell that. So I thought, I'm a businessman. If people want it, if my customers are buying everything besides that, I owe it to them to at least look into what it would look like representing and selling their products. That's just business, people. Just business. So we started that in February, and I'm giving myself credit because I didn't know anything about them having a dungeon crawler, Carl. Knew nothing about that. But I wanted to see about a partnership prior to that. Now, as luck would have it, my planning and prognostication turned out great because we got in before a theme that absolutely tickles my cojones. It's cojones. What is that in Spanish? I know it's used for testicles or ball. Is it cojones? I'll have to look that up. I know is that an H? How do you spell Oh, it's a J.
With a C.
Oh, it's
COJO. It's like Co Jones is how you would.
What's it for? Or is that is it an Italian? I thought it was a Spanish.
It's literally testicles.
Oh, okay. That fits perfect then. It's my little pinballs. So yeah, and we've talked about what is a dungeon crawler, Carl. This theme is kind of just. I've dove into this thing. I'm in the third book, so I'm not like super, but I'm
right.
I'm treading. I'm paddling. I'm loving it. So yeah, thank God now they have a theme that I love. I love this theme. So I was excited to hear that they had that because we all kind of thought it was barrels of fun that may have had Dungeon Crawler Carl. So we found out they had that, and I was like, oh my God, even better here. So they do something different this time, Dennis. They launch Dungeon Crawler Carl and another game at the same time. 2 games. Their other being Ender's Game. How do you feel about them doing the whole spooky 2-for-1, this little launch, going two at the same time? Perplexed.
I don't think. I am surprised. I don't know how to feel about it. It didn't seem to really do any favors for spooky. So
That's true.
The past precedence of it doesn't give me confidence with it. But on paper, it makes sense. On paper, this is something I brought up years ago. I don't think it was on this show, but I don't remember anymore. About home pin, home pin out of China or wherever, Taiwan, wherever they're based nowadays. Like, if you struggle with design, why not? And your whole thing is about selling a few games to a bunch of bros that want to, have a few pints and knock a ball around. Why not just have one good layout and keep reusing it?
Yeah,
and then just change your theme, because you're not trying to sell to collectors. You're trying to sell one game to one family. And so with Blues Brothers, which is amazingly terrible, despite the fact that they actually took a historic Stern Electronics layout, but in theory, that was the idea that would have made sense. So here it's funny because growing up, Ender's Game was such a popular book. I would have, on paper, if you had told me Dungeon Crawler or Ender's Game, my gut instinct would have been to say Ender's Game will sell you more games.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not sure that's true anymore. Because Dungeon Crawler Carl is, because I think part of the thing is, I think Dungeon Crawler Carl is popular with an audience that can buy pinball. It's not, so even though it's new, it's not like targeting 16-year-olds. Okay. Ender's Game has nostalgia, however. So Ender's Game is stuff like, because that book came out like in 85. So everyone who, like, in theory, the audience for that book historically, they have the money to buy things about it now. It's just Dungeon Crawler Carl was resonating really well as a series. I never read Ender's Game. Okay. A number of my friends did. I only ever heard a lot about the first game, not the entire series. There's an entire series, but the first book was always seen as the strongest. I don't think people are saying that about Dungeon Crawler Carl.
True.
And then, there's the big question of, we know based off of the pinball community that there are a lot of fans of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Like people, and again, it's kind of like why do D&D? They're into the role playing. They're the video gamification of that is involved in the story. Like that's all resonating. Ender's Game is like the kids I knew who read it, and I've seen the movie. I just haven't read the book.
I haven't seen the movie.
There were a lot of the kids, like the gifted kids, were really into it. But it's sort of a chosen child trope.
Chosen
is
one.
Kind of what.
Yeah.
It's. In fact, I think there's a trope called the chosen child trope. Like,
okay,
this is Ender. He's super special, and here's all. Like,
sounds like Last
he's
Airbender.
Smarter than it. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a whole. I think it's an interesting. I probably would have really liked the book had I read it. I found the movie enjoyable. I know some book fans were not huge into it, but all that to say, Zach, is I think it's fine. I don't know if it really advantages them in any way. As long as the one thing is, as long as the rule sets are able to be developed, and in a way that it doesn't compromise one or the other. But there's always going to be those risks of comparison, because I mentioned Ultraman and Halloween when we were kind of prepping for this about, using the same layout. But maybe a better example compared to this is when Spooky did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Looney Tunes, where I feel, and you as a distributor may have a different perspective. I feel, though, that Texas Chainsaw ended up with the leg up because people think it's a better rule set. And so even if they like Looney Tunes more, Texas is the better game because the rules are better.
Yeah.
Now, is that true or not? Or again, I'm basing this off of some anecdotal things that people have said.
They're different,
but people will naturally end up comparing these things. The aspect that I find confusing about this is, I understand logically why. The price point on Enders versus Dungeon Crawler are very different.
Very different. But if you look at the games, you're getting.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Those the sculpts alone.
I see it.
Very different.
In fact, I would say that Enders looks barren to me, and I don't think it's going to sell well after seeing it. But
because it has a comparison,
there's my lukewarm take. I think the comparison, yes.
Okay, because I was going to say,
let's just compare to
it's pretty loaded down though.
There.
We'll talk.
I haven't
about
seen
all
that. Now I haven't seen video.
That's important to say. So we're viewing. This is very early on in the launch process. Dennis is viewing the pictures, the official pictures
stills.
Of these games. We've not seen the video portion. I've seen the video portion of this game, of both games actually, as a dealer, but I don't have access to that or anything. So he's not been able to see it. And we'll talk through some of that stuff here. They are two completely different independent games. That was emphasized. Both happen to be based on the same underlying mechanisms, but they're totally different. Different teams on each game too. Each game kit comes fully decorated for that theme. Each game kit includes an extension module. Remember on Portal, they had the option. Do you want the extended game or do you want the regular standard game, where the extended game was something coming down over the LCD playfield area? There's no option. The extended portion goes with the game kit. It is crucial for each of these games. Dungeon Crawler Carl, yeah, it has more sculpts and different things, so the price is more. They got a number of new people that they got. Freaking Davey Price of the Stumbler Pinball, arguably the best mod maker in the entire industry, partnered up with him for this game, and that's incredible because if he built anything for this game, every buyer would have bought him anyway. So now they've already got him built in. The sculpts aren't optional either. Like they come with the game. They're not doing different. I don't think they're doing different. Like Princess Bride had a limited edition, a collector's edition. Weird Al had a L. They're not. I think they're just doing each as its own thing. Oh, a lot of people were asking, well, if I bought Dungeon Crawler Carl, can I still buy the software for Ender's Game since they're the same layout and everything and just play it? No.
Oh, just play the second game without looking like it.
So no, just for licensing alone. That licensor of each is not going to want another thing played on their environment. That doesn't make any sense. So no, if you want to play both games, you have to buy.
If they got paid, why should they care? Why can't we be creative?
I don't like it because I
do. I
don't like it as just any type of creator. I wouldn't want something on top of my skinned over the top. I don't know. I don't like it. It makes sense to me. Now that doesn't mean there aren't discussions trying to make that happen behind the scenes, but don't get your hopes up. That's not a thing right now. Okay. Can we get into Dungeon Crawler Carl? I'm going to admit, I've not seen Ender's Game movie. I've not read the books. I don't know much about it.
Well, the art's clearly, it's not the movie. They're doing the book.
Yeah.
Which is probably smart. I don't recall the movie doing very well.
And oh my God, it's a stunning looking game. We'll talk about that. But more than that, I don't really.
Not compared to Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's not.
Dude, Dungeon Crawler Carl is fucking great. This thing looks.
It looks really good.
It looks so cool. So the content, we'll give you a little background. The content of this game is entirely based on the books by Matt Dinneman. Audiobook lines, the newly recorded lines, all from Jeff Hayes, who any fan of Dungeon Crawler Carl just loves Jeff Hayes. He does all the audio on the audiobooks, and almost to how does a book become so bookified that it almost has to be listened to rather than read? I don't know books enough. Does this happen in literature?
Sure. I mean, I know people that prefer audiobooks because of the narration, the storyteller, the voices are done.
Okay.
But I mean, I still think the main driving factor to audiobooks is the fact that you can do something else while
Absolutely.
It's the same thing with why do so many people listen to this and not watch it on YouTube? Because you have to watch it.
Why wouldn't you watch it?
Well, and there's nothing to see. is part of the frustration, because it's not like we have really cool animations and stuff happening constantly. It's
Dennis won't allow
people
it.
just like, that's why podcasts became a thing, is people were able to do them when their eyes needed to not be distracted.
Mm-hmm. They go on to say that when describing this theme for pinball, anyway, for the theme, the author, Matt Denman, has suggested that the appropriate age for the books is 15 plus. So historically, Jerry and Multimorphic have tried to have some family-friendly titles. I think that's fair to say. This is not family-friendly. This is the opposite. This is like more Rick and Morty type of... now, there is the option to bleep out the cursing and the bad language, but it's still very much a mature experience. There's a ton of, and if you guys haven't seen the trailer yet, the official, just play the official trailer. I can't even believe they were able to run with the stuff in the trailer that they said. I think at one point, look, here's what sold me on this. Anytime my pinball machine can make me smile because one of the call outs is telling someone to eat a bag of dicks, viewer, I'm in. I'm in. None of my other pinball machines tell anybody to eat a bag of dicks, but it's a term of endearment that I would have loved to have said to a lot of people in this industry alone, but in general, and it did that for me. And it says glurp glurp
Glurp.
It's got glurp glurp. So
I have a glurp glurp sticker for my water bottle.
And bros in there, like it's just it's so good. All right, what else? So yeah, you're getting what you expected for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Also to note that a lot of people are not going to be seeing a topper on DCC, and they're like, wait a minute, they do have one in the works. So it's going to be revealed at a later time, but they have one in the works. Let's talk about who's making this game. Creative director is Steven Silver and Ian Harrower. So creative directors team there. Rules, Wesley Johnson. Mechanicals, TJ Weaver and Trey Jones. Voices by Jeff Hayes, the narrator of the audiobooks. Music and sound design, Matt Kern. Software, Ian Harrower, Josh Kugler, and Michael Ocean. The whole team there. Cabinet artist, Luciano Fleitas. Is that how you'd say that?
I'm not sure.
The most important thing is it's the book cover artist,
right?
That people. So this looks and sounds like Dungeon Crawler Carl because it's using the same people who have visually and auditorily represented this license. Arguably, you can't get anybody better for these jobs. Playfield artist, Brad Albright. So there is some Brad Albright of Winchester Mystery House fame that we all love so much. And he did Portal 2. So people love the Brad Albright stuff now. He's in this helping with the additional visuals on this game. Art direction, Steven Silver and Brad Albright. Sculpts by Stumbler Pinball. Oh, God. Thank you. Digital assets by Renegade Game Studios. Not familiar. Animations by Steven Silver and Ian Harrower. Special thanks to Playmates Toys. Let's talk about artwork. We'll go through these quick, but artwork. First visual take on seeing the art of this game. I love that cabinet art. Love it. It reminds me of the books, as it should. It is the same style, but I think some of the books, I don't want to hate on that illustrator, but some of the audiobook covers, Luciano, they're good, but nothing. I think they did a better job on this cabinet art of this pinball machine than they have the book covers. Am I crazy? I haven't looked enough at the book covers. I do like that it looks like the book. I think it was a smart play. Yeah. So I think the game looks very nice with the composition and such. The translate looks pretty basic. Like that's the part where I'm not. It's your standard montage, which is it's fine. But I think one of the things I like is because you've got this cover artist doing the sides of the game. Mm-hmm. It does not look like that oversaturated style that we have come to associate with pinball now, where the purples are extra purpley and the
It's like everything is just like literally there's a saturation slider that you have in these programs and you just crank it all the way up. And this actually feels there's a lot of browns, deeper colors, earth tones,
warmer
yes,
oranges, siennas.
More on the right side of the cabinet than there's a like purple creature thing on the left. But my point is like it feels like it's the color scheme. I'm going to use the word more realistic. A little less comic. Maybe that's a better way to say it. It doesn't feel like it's a comic strip. It feels like it's meant to be in a lived-in world. So.
It reminded me of the more vibrant Rob Zombie. Remember how people loved the artwork on Rob Zombie?
I did like Rob Zombie's. I don't like anything else about that game, but Rob Zombie's art package was really
so it kind of reminded me of the illustrations
but the cab and the that had a great translate too.
Dude, the freaking really the left side of that cabinet, the action sequence of Carl on the motorcycle with Donut in the side, like with that monster.
Yep.
Come on. That's amazing. And I love that both sides of the cabinet are different art on both sides. That's cool too. It's quirky and cool. I do love the artwork on this game. Now keep in mind, people, that remember whenever you buy these games, if you already have a P3 gaming unit system, you just have to buy the module to put in this game. And that is technically cheaper than, if you buy it with the P3 game, the module is cheaper than not. But if you're buying that module, you're still going to probably want to buy the packaged magnetic art that goes with it too. So there's always that. You don't have to have it, but if you want the module alone to play it with Weird Al art, that's fine too. If it's going to be pressed up against different games,
right? But now playfield wise, the sculpts do a heavy lift here. They look great.
Yes.
Like the whole kind of stony background at the for the dungeon aspects, the 3-dimensional aspects to it, up at the very back of the playfield. I did notice in the stills, and I will confirm with other games, this is very much true in real life. If you've never played one, try and play one of these at a show if you can get to a show where they have P3s. But there's an attempt. I like that, at least, again, I'm looking from stills. From the stills, they've learned from the, Final Resistance from Scott Denisi that, hey, instead of being really busy with our screen, we need to make it look more like a traditional layout. So, which is good because, you start trying to animate everything and it starts to like your inability to fund a full featured video game animation starts to shine through. But unfortunately, even in the stills, I can still tell how washed out the screen looks versus the back when all of a sudden the stickers or the physical art comes into play, and it's notable. They weren't. Now I think the photos were reasonably well done. I think that's just reality. It's been reality on every game I've played.
Sure.
So that washed out look to the lower 2/3 remains. As I'd say, maybe a minor ding, but it is thematically consistent with what it connects to in the back, which is that's the important thing.
I do think that's been one of our criticisms, heavy criticisms, is what Dennis was saying, trying to pull in enough animation resources to match what else you're doing physically with a pinball machine. That has been a very tall task. So I agree with you. I love whenever they lean into using that to the best way they can. An LCD screen that still feels like a regular playfield. They don't have to overdo it. They can make it look inserts. They can make inserts there. I've said that to Jerry, even historically, when we went back and forth. Make it look like a damn playfield. Do cool stuff with these simulated inserts, lifting the inserts up, having creatures crawl under the inserts. Like, that's your bread and butter. That's where we want it to be. And we see even in a top-down pick of Dungeon Crawler Carl, him doing exactly that. And I hope they continue leaning into that. I
think they will. I think they've learned as they went along.
Yeah. But
if you go back and play Lexi Lightspeed, it feels like you're shooting a phone game.
Yes, it does.
It just does. And at the time it was different and cool, but I mean, the inability to put in big money starts to become very, and no, not even Stern could. I mean,
no.
Look at, when we talk about like King Kong and its custom animations and just sort of how janky that looks
Turtles.
versus Godzilla, where you're just straight up taking clips. That's why everyone wants to take from the movies. Like that's, Multimorphic knew that with Princess Bride, where you've got like all this movie
Fill
stuff.
it up.
The playfield still pretty much stayed like a fairly static looking thing. And I think that's smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's comforting. It's comfortable for pinball people to approach this.
The one thing they have now that helps me get behind what they're doing nowadays, they have an artist. They have a really good artist in Brad Albright that is, you can see he's doing some of the art stills that they're using in the animation on the LCD screen, which then integrates well into the plastics and different things in the upper playfield decal that he does. So it meshes a heck of a lot better than some of the games in the past. So I love, and I'll give Albright a lot of credit here. I don't think it's very easy to take somebody that's so good and has made a theme visually recognizable in the artists that did these book covers and still do all the plastics stuff to make it look like it belongs to that same art while still making it shown that it's still your art too. Like some of Albright's line work helps playfields look fuller than they are. This doesn't need that because this was pretty effing packed. Almost the line art maybe makes it look even more blurred, but he does a really good job of filling in details so that it looks like more than is even there. Because he'll do even decals on the side of plastics or he'll do decals on the targets. Everything is drawn in. A weird plastic that might go over a ramp, he'll do some artwork on that to bring that whole world under glass to life. So I do love all of that artwork. I think this may be heralded as the best looking multimorphic game. Portal, I can see.
I still would favor Portal overall,
really?
even though the approach on Portal felt so different from the video game. I pushed on it. Overall though, I don't know. For me, but it's the sculpts are throwing me because I like with the sculpts here, I kind of lean to this, but if I were to take the sculpts out and just make the art carry itself, I don't know.
Okay. Let's talk about
I think
those.
some of it's just some of the color choices for the dungeon doesn't remind me of what I heard in the it seems a little more pinball-y maybe. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you.
Let's talk about these sculpts then. As we talk about toys, mechs, just functionally all the stuff. And we'll talk about kind of layout at the same time, but this is not looking like a Lexi Lightspeed P3 game. They've doubled down on what they put on the extended module over the LCD playfield. But if we're just staying in the back, thank God, like I always felt like I'm the only person in pinball that loves big, huge sculpts that create like worlds that cover ball paths. I am a nerd for that. It makes me horny seeing all of that stuff. Some of you start hating and call things Popeye, but for me, like that whole rock dungeon, arches and stuff, absolutely fantastic. It brings the world in. Signs, you've got Donut. It's probably my favorite sculpt. You got Donut. And I don't know, in the video it shows like the sunglasses that Donut's wearing flashing her eyes, but I don't know if that's a reflection or if that is. I don't think it's lit.
It's in the photos too. They must have LEDs in them because there's one photo that I saw with the donut with the ball lock, and one glass is blue and one's red, so they clearly have LED'd it.
Because that was awesome in the trailer. I was like, oh, cool. And Mongo, the little raptor, that's really nice done. Even Carl in the back, I think sculpt.
Mongo's my favorite sculpt.
It's pretty good. So the sculpts are awesome. But look at the wire forms. There's freaking wire forms everywhere. There's a third flipper shots. There's ball locks with magnets. This is all just in the top module. There's that whole under Mongo, the ball on a magnet, and it throws it around in there, hitting targets.
I don't know about that.
They could probably stage that almost like Deadpool did, where they can hold a ball in there if they want to.
So do you lock a ball in that, or has it always got the ball in there?
No, it lifts. Oh, it lifts up.
Okay.
The whole front base, almost like was that?
I like that better.
Final Resistance, where you hit something enough and it lifts up to show. But yeah, it's like that where maybe it was highs, but you hit that bank.
I like that better. It was so many targets close together.
Just the targets alone are boring, but
yeah, they're just it reminds me a little bit of Al's Garage Band, where they've got the spinning disc and they've got the targets up in there, kind of like that, like those sort of things. Obviously this isn't spinning, but
it has a magnet,
okay, so that lifts to get up in there. Okay,
and then
I like that better.
There's a center drop target. They've got a couple multi-staged mechs in here that are hard to see from pictures, but this freaking sizzle reel is it'll confuse you. Have to watch this sizzle reel multiple times. I had to, and I still don't know what's going on because there is so much going on in this game. Like there's a drop target, but then if you hit down that drop target, then there's like a multi-stage VUC ramp kind of thing behind it. That thing is crazy. They've got loop shots, but then a loop shot where it comes back around by donut and it's elevated so the ball can be held there as a physical lock with a magnet. And then the balls can then load up there and come out there. And for those confused, if you go to the other game that has the same physical module, this Enders game, they don't have that dungeon cover over. So you can kind of see a little bit better about what some of these mechs are. Because there's this passing back and forth mech that I don't even know what to compare it to. Captive balls that can go from one side to the other in a loop. There can be a stack of balls on the left side and then a stack of balls to the right side, and they can shift one ball back over, 4 balls, 2 balls. They can shift all 4, all 5.
Okay. Skylab from the 70s had that.
Okay, yeah, it did as a flat. This is like And now I'm trying to think, maybe Godzilla Sega had like this captive ball that you kind of, a group of them that you hit back and forth.
Okay.
But it's like that. But
that game very well.
Jerry was telling me it's the left side is almost like it's a visual representation of a meter. So the left side's like mana as you're collecting mana per ball. So like if you collect 1 ball, you have so much mana to get this reward. Second ball would be so many mana to get this. So it's a visual representation of your mana, and you can decide to put it to the other meter. I forgot what the right side was, but that's it's not kills. What is it? It might be potions or
stat,
inventories
like
or something. Yeah, it's one of the stats, but that's the other side. So you can go back and forth. But he has them layered in a way that whenever the team does, whenever you hit it into like a hole or something can. It's so hard to explain. It's chaotic and overly mechanical. This thing is. There's a lot going on in this game. Yes, a lot of these things are like they'll lift up. There's different things that, and then as we move down, we have the wall of scoops, the interactive scoops that everybody likes on the P3 thing. That's one thing that's pretty universally loved. But then we have this big old circle thing. Now, at first, when you watch the trailer, you think, holy crap, there's something on the main level of this playfield. It's like this dome circle thing that turns in ways that then open up different shot paths is what that's doing. So it can be an orbit to loop or to send it up to the upper playfield to do something. There's one that there's like, I think a spinner on one, maybe. There's one that it turns like it's a death turn, man, because it puts a bunch of targets right close to your flipper. So you've got to battle something that's getting closer to you. So that thing can turn, I think 180 degrees or pretty much all the way around. So it has different stages that it will show or that it will present based on whatever's going on in the game. But it's a diverter on steroids to a certain extent.
Is it always on the playfield or does it lift?
It's always on the playfield. But it has the majority of it's, I think, passed through for a lot of it. So it just looks like a circle kind of thing because it has that ring of LEDs. But yeah, a lot of it's passed through because in the position of the top down, for those following with pictures, you can see there's like it's like a left orbit that spins it up to the bottom.
Okay, I'll have to try this. It's skeptical.
It is intense. The other cool thing is that whenever you're up in the dungeon and it has a wire form. It looks like it's just going to drop off the playfield and come back to the flippers. That actually is a second level. So this wheel serves itself on a second level as well, to where it has structurally things happening on a top of plexi that is clear and you don't see. You'll see no wire forms are technically going back to the flippers, because this whole upper level serves as a, they said in Ender's Game, it makes sense because like you're in space with no gravity, so the ball can kind of go wherever. In Dungeon Crawler, it's more, it flows based on where that wheel is turned from the bottom. So it can divert balls to the left or the right flipper based on the top portion.
Okay, yeah. As I zoom in, I'm seeing where the plastic sends out way further. Okay, yeah, that is clever.
Yeah, that thing is freaking cool. And they basically took out the left target bank on the P3 system for this extended. So you still have the right bank, but the left bank is now even more shots in that thing.
Yeah, I see that.
And then another, so if that wasn't enough, then you have something new on the P3 that they did very simply too, engineering wise. They have, you know how most games now are using in-lane posts that come up to hold the ball. They'll tell like a mode and then it stops. They have that now here in the P3. They're putting something on those where the sling actuators are, to where it holds balls now in the in-lane. And if it wants to, it can do just like a post now, where it will engage the sling and it'll pull. And I guess there's a piece that holds the ball now and can lock a ball or hold a ball there. And then, so that's just another feature. So what do you think of the overall layout?
I like the back. Not sure on the disc.
I'm the same place. I'm gonna have to get my hands.
I mean, it's all interesting, but the back, I like a lot of the ideas going on there. Don't know on the disc. I worry it's going to be too gimmicky, but I'll have to try it.
We'll see how it feels. Cause I'm the same way.
I'm just curious.
That is big. And I like that.
It takes a lot of space.
I like that it is multifunctional. If you're going to have something down there and you're going to be brave enough to put something over the LCD playfield, you're doing so with multiple approaches, because you've got two levels of what you're doing with the ball, because you're spinning this thing, and you have paths. I think it's ultimately going to be pretty freaking badass, but it's hard to know. That one's hard to know. But yeah, the back of the playfield, it looks damn cool. I'm a sucker for a third flipper that has multiple paths. So rules, codes, moments we don't know. The one cool thing that they were telling us is that lovers of the book of this game will really like this. Essentially, it's nonlinear, so it's not like you got to play through book 1, then book 2. It's not Who Brought the Dog. And they changed that.
Ghostbuster style, yeah.
But you can kind of play whatever book. But each book in and of itself is its own like game rules kind of thing. So Jerry was saying like, I think right now book 1 is pretty much fully coded. They're into book 2. By the time we start seeing this at Expo or something, they'll have 4 or 5. But like it's going to be one of the deepest damn games out there, because you can kind of. He said in some like book 1 is very nostalgic to the like everything story wise is based on that book, whatever book you're playing. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like remember Harry Potter, where you can pick the movie and then the scenes and stuff are based on what happened in that film and the tasks. It's going to kind of be like that here. But I think even deeper when it comes to like modes and stuff, multiple modes within each book kind of thing, I believe. Again, I've not had my hands on this, so I don't know, but that's what I'm being told. So it's hard to say until we see gameplay. I think gameplay video is coming out either here on launch day or soon after.
Okay.
Sound, again, we got the call out, guys, so that's going to be fantastic. I don't know what the music and sound effects are going to sound like yet. Same with animation and display. We can see some stuff on the trailer, but until it's going to be hard to say. This is before we get into pricing and such, one word I would use to describe this in the most positive way possible is ambitious. Would you agree? This is a very ambitious attempt at a game. regardless if it was a P3 or not. I don't think there's any argument, even some of the naysayers as I was in the past. You can't argue there's not a lot going on in this game. Think about some of the games we got recently. There's a lot going on. And the sculpts look pretty dynamite too.
I mean, I agree that, yeah, there is a lot going on. But like the sort of engineering push from Multimorphic is pretty standard for them. When I think about Portal and what all it was doing, I mean, there was a lot of mechanical. Yeah. I mean, So, yeah, more so than a lot of other games. Yeah, I think you've got a fair point. Comparatively to other P3 things, I think just other than the sculpt work, I would say it's about on par with like the number of like features, mechanical features I would come to expect.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty big compliment all in itself, if that's the expectation. I'm glad they got the sculpts now.
To me, the question is whether it'll live up. Like when they did the heist you mentioned and the crane, like their crane was so cool, like cooler than Batman 66's crane, cooler than any crane, I would argue, in the history of pinball. You can't, I'm going to say it like this, you can't knock it out of the park every time. At some point, I suspect that the creativity will be too creative for its own good, where you get into the, examples of when we talk about like fancy ball locks and you don't want to Maverick the thing where all of a sudden, waiting for the, steamboat wheel to come around ends up, it was great the first 2 times you locked a ball and now you can't wait for the thing to actually let you play the game. So those sort of, again, in this case, it's the question of this giant circle thing. Obviously with Portal, they just really extended a ramp that went up and down, relatively simple concept, but it added a great deal of depth because it no longer it felt like you were exclusively playing this game where all the shots were in the back. Mm-hmm. And the games haven't always had all the shots in the back. That's where like the the ball detector and knowing that things are happening on the lower level was something that was historically exploited. So yeah, the big giant disc thing, interesting. I don't know. It becomes, I don't know. That's just the one piece. Everything else about it seems good. But as we kind of discussed on things it reminded us of, I've also seen all these aspects done before. I don't expect constant innovation out of pinball. So I think it's a creatively done way to assemble it. And then I agree with you, like not Popeye. People like to see the ball roll around on games. I think this is subtle enough where it's not going to keep you feeling like you don't know where the ball's coming out of. There are some people that like that surprise thing. I always find it a little disingenuous isn't the right word, but it's kind of, I find it a little goofy because after you play a game, maybe 5 times, you know where the ball's coming. And it's, I'll walk up to Halloween and I'll briefly forget, because of course I don't regularly play it, there's going to be like this little lift and it's going to elevator up the ball. And that's, oh my God, what a mystery. And then after that, I know, and I'm sitting there looking at my watch going, when is the ball coming back? Because I'm here to play. I'm here to play the butt pretzel game, not wait for my ball to come up in an elevator. There were no elevators in the original Halloween. I still find that decision very strange.
3 levels.
To have a ball elevator.
One of the other reasons that I was, more eager to partner up with Multimorphic is I always like people, because I feel I relate to it. I always like people who feel like they have a chip on their shoulder or feel like they have something to prove. And when they actually start doing it, like Spooky was doing that very well in the past, where they listen so intensely to the hobby and what do they want us to do? What do they keep fucking ripping us on? What do they keep shitting on? And then just trying to I'll bring you the best damn artist. I'll bring you the best damn rules and the sculpts and everything. Spooky did that. Feels like Jerry and team over there over the years have been doing that as well in their own way. And I respect the hell out of that. I like when somebody is feisty and they want to prove other people wrong, because I can relate to that. So I like that.
Tell me about the 4K.
Oh, we'll get there. That's my goal. That's my goal. Just wait. We'll get there. Okay, pricing. Believe it or not, they've actually reduced the price from their last game. This, I think the MSRP for this kit is $5,250, which Portal was $5,500, I think. So interesting that a manufacturer has reduced the price of something. We can't.
Faith plate was probably expensive.
What was it?
The faith plate, right? Well, that was one of the mechanical features in Portal.
Oh, okay. The faith plate. So I got to give them credit for not continuing to go up, technically. Still expensive for a game, for a module. It is. Just is. There's no ifs, ands, and buts around that. You save some money if you're buying the P3 system with it. So if you're buying the P3 with Dungeon Crawler Carl installed, it's $12,350. Right around that. Which is becoming kind of that $12,000 standard. You've got Jersey Jack's middle tiers of $12,000. Their upper tiers $15,000. Stern's highest model is $13,000. This is $650 below that. Barrels, their last games were $11,600, so this is above that. Spooky, they're the pricing people. They were under $10,000 for their last couple sold out games. So,
well, what's CGC at?
CGC is, Medieval Madness Merlin is $12,000. So right there with that as well. So they're where they need to be probably, but the value proposition for this is all the other games that you're buying with it. That's the value prop here. Otherwise, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and be like, oh, this is a value game at $12,350. I think it's comparable to other games that you're buying.
No, I think that's a fair point.
Sales. Oh, we don't know yet because it's early. How do you think this does?
I don't think it does dramatically better than the other big licenses. Like, I don't think it does dramatically better than Portal.
Okay.
For big licenses for P3. I mean, they've had some pretty popular licenses. Weird Al, starting with Weird Al, Princess Bride,
big, yeah.
Portal. The system is the hurdle, not the look of this game.
I think their sales are going to be better, substantially better.
All of them? Than all that I named?
I wonder what their best-selling. I would guess their best-selling game is Weird Al, if I were to guess.
I would think so too because of the pandemic. I would say their best license is Princess Bride.
License-wise, yeah, that'd be my.
Again, just license, not talking about the game, gameplay and such.
The reason I think this will do. I think this will be their best-selling game. I do, and I think the reason being. Timing. You see, I did there is like I timed it with saying timing. Now, I don't know if they lucked into this, but God damn it, don't it? Their timing on this was phenomenal. They're hitting at the hotness of this theme. Princess Bride is a great theme, nostalgic. It wasn't the hotness of Princess Bride at that time. Portal, cool theme. There's nothing new with Portal franchise or that theming. It's an old video game. They are hitting right when they need to on this. I would say this is a hotter title timing-wise than a lot of stuff that's going to come out this year, last year, the year before, etc. It's just hot right now. They're getting their own series. Sure. They just revealed it at Comic-Con. This is a damn hot title. This is a title so hot. It's a small theme. It's a small theme that makes sense to Multimorphic, but they're hitting at the perfect time where I think even the big dogs have thought, did we miss this one? We may have missed this one. I don't know if it's big enough for Stern, but I think Stern would have loved to release a Dungeon Crawler Carl pin this summer. I really do.
Could be. You're putting a lot of weight in the timeliness bias, and we haven't seen that historically in pinball. Walking Dead came out at the peak of that show, was one of Stern's worst selling games, which is why it remains shocking that they ever remastered the thing. Game of Thrones maybe did better in that regard, but nostalgia, we've talked about it many times. Nostalgia is what sells games. This Dungeon Crawler Carl has no nostalgia. It's just because it's new.
I'd rather
It's not like Ready Player One or Stranger Things, which attempts to exploit our nostalgia while being a new original concept.
You can't hate on Stranger Things. You got to watch it first.
It's not about hate, but it is an exploitation. That is what it was. And so in that regard, Portal, you're right. Like no new game on the horizon, anything like that. But they did so well at making it feel like you were in the world of Portal. Like it felt like you were playing Portal, but as a pinball. This, in some ways, is a step back. It's just being in the story world. We get that all the time. We're in the story world of Transformers when
as
we play
compared to what?
Gen 1. What do you mean?
You said a step back. What would be
the complexity of what they needed to achieve to make Portal work?
Oh, okay.
Video games have been avoided as a translation device into pinball, I think in part because how do you make the video game experience feel like you're in that world outside of racing? Like what easy way is there? And it's not easy, but I think they did it so well in Portal. Like it felt like you were doing the levels in Portal. That's what playing a pinball version. This, it's just going through a story, just like any movie pin is. John Wick, same, when they released John Wick, you'd have thought it had done great.
They were still behind on John Wick by years.
I agree. It would have been better to come out around movie 3.
This is the peak. That my whole timing argument is because
I'm just saying that peakness is not there. We don't have, unless you've got data otherwise, and I don't think you do. That's why I'm pushing.
I don't.
That peakness of freshness of the popularity of something has never shown to work better than nostalgia. So I think you're putting a lot of prediction eggs in the basket of that dungeon crawler Carl. And again, there's a big jump, Zach. You lose sight because of your wealth. So allow me to proletariat this for you. You lose sight. How many pinball machines do you own, Zach? How many pinball machines do you own that are LEs? All right. Simmer down now.
30.
Simmer down. My point is that there's a big gap between people who buy the books and then go to a Comic Con and buy a few stickers to then asking them to spend $12,000.
Yeah,
I don't think there are people with shrines of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Like they probably have shrines to the Princess Bride.
Think they have tattoos?
Different. Yes, I know they have tattoos.
What do you think do you think one of the
But I also saw that someone got a tattoo of the dude who sang Chocolate Rain on his arm. So I've seen all sorts of stuff.
What I was saying with the timing wise is I would rather attempt, because of the scale of the hotness right now for this theme, give me this versus this in 10 years as a theme. Now, in 10 years, it may be hotter, but I would rather take my risk right now because that's how hot it is.
I'm not meaning to say that it is not the right time to do Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think this is the great time to do Dungeon Crawler Carl. But I think there's a big difference between saying that and then that, this is thus, because the timing is so awesome from Multimorphic, this is thus going to do better than Princess Bride, Weird Al, or Portal. And I'm like, I don't know. Princess Bride's a stronger theme. Weird Al had the pandemic money thing going on where people could just throw money into pinball machines and there was nothing else to do. And Portal was arguably the best engineering execution of any first party title that they've done. I'm not saying it won't beat them. I'm just saying timeliness sure wouldn't be what I'd put my chips on to say, this is going to do better than all of that.
I think I get it. I think we can.
And I don't think it does better because it has nice sculpts.
I think there's so many things, and this is one that really helps.
Now, what I will say is this will do better than Ender's Game.
How much better?
4 years ago, I'd never have said that.
4 to
1. 4 to 1. 4 to 1. This outsells Ender's.
A lot. The only thing that would balance it out is if Ender's Game rules come out and it's just
absolutely. So again, there's some aspects that I'm predicting on partial information, but that's what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sales wise, I think this is going to be
I think it does well for him. I think it does well for P3.
That's where I'm at.
I'm going to still.
That's where I'm at. Behemoth for them.
I know if you want me to place it, and I don't know what their sales numbers are. I'm going to say it outsells Princess Bride. I don't think it outsells Portal, and I don't think it outsells Weird Al. That's where I'm going to place it.
I would think.
And Ender's Game isn't even going to outsell Princess Bride.
Okay, I'm going to go with that one. I think this outsells.
Again, I don't know what those numbers are, so the only people that will know are them. So
I think they're going to have more sales of P3 machines because of this release than they did every other title, with the exception of maybe Weird Al.
Weird Al had it's just
Weird Al. They got a lot of P3s sold because of that.
And again, that's kind of funny because it's the same thing with Guns N' Roses and Jersey Jack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone who says Guns N' Roses is the best playing Jersey Jack game, but golly, other than maybe Harry Potter now, is it the best seller? I mean, it blew past Woz.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And that was just timeliness. It's not because Guns N' Roses is an awesome band. That was pandemic effect, baby.
And them bringing lighting up a notch.
Oh, there were other things that played to its advantage, but we get that great lighting out of all their stuff now.
Now we do, yeah. But now we expect
so in theory, though, that should be an equalizer at this point. But
I think this really, and now production timeline wise, they are like many other manufacturers where they're announcing the game. They're not going to be. I mean, I don't know how many releases we've got from people. You announce the game. They're not making them for months from now. So I don't think we're going to start seeing them.
That's weird.
I know, but that's just how these Pedretti just said the same thing.
I don't know why anyone's doing this, Zach. Tell it to me like I'm a child. Why would you do that?
Reduction of risk, for one. Well, hey, Nicole, how's it going? Oh, you can say hello to everybody. What do you got going on there? If you were a child, I would say the only thing is, I would say is reduction of risk. Yeah, reduction of risk, and they get excited. I don't think that's necessarily here with Multimorphic, that they just get eager and they just want to launch it. But as a whole, some of these manufacturers may misinterpret when they should launch something. And
let me ask you this. Do you think that the author mentioning it at one of those fan talks forced their hand months ago? Like, did they move up their timetable because he didn't keep his mouth shut about
what?
A pinball machine coming?
Oh, it could be.
Yeah, for Dungeon Crawler.
It could be. Because I think that, and I don't know this for sure, but I think that Multimorphic knew that there was, in discussions with Matt Denneman and this license holder, whoever, they knew there's a possibility that they announce at Comic-Con. They probably knew there's a possibility that they show the video or show pictures. They probably knew it's a possibility because ultimately the license holder will do whatever the hell they want. Ultimately, that's the leverage that they probably have over the manufacturer of a pinball machine. However, there's probably a large likelihood that they didn't plan with Multimorphic what all they were going to show, how they were going to do it. I bet Multimorphic is like, there's a good chance that they're going to show this. And we just have to kind of be prepared for that. So maybe that does force them into it as well, because there was a lot of chatter that this game was coming, not by what manufacturer, but I mean, you had the artist saying stuff, you had influencers that were with DCC and saying stuff, so maybe. But I don't know why they would delay. Because, I mean, financially, can you afford to take the risk on building 100 pinball machines like a P3 in hopes that everything will be ready to go? I mean, I don't know manufacturing.
Could you not take the risk of building 50? See, though, we could just lower the amount we pre-build.
Well, right now,
and maybe there's a long tail before more get built, but
I think the turnaround
Barrels kind of had got that rep of having some labyrinths ready when they did Labyrinth. They did with Dune.
Winchester, for the most part, took a while, but Dune they had. I think the turnaround for a P3 machine is like 12 weeks right now already. So once this game is launched, that's going to balloon, I would think.
Yeah, I would think it would go up. Okay, well.
So we will see.
Well, good luck to them. I look forward to trying it.
If you're looking to purchase a Dungeon Crawler,
I am not right now. I will try it first.
Viewer, if you are, it's simple. All you got to do is go to Dungeon Crawler Carl Pinball No, I might not be joking. But maybe just type it in, see what happens. But you can go to flippandoutpinball.com, order yours today, or you can email me, Zach, ZACH, at flippandoutpinball.com. They're a sponsor of the show. That's why we're plugging them here. And it's my company, so I mean, fuck, I'm going to do that. Ken at flippandoutpinball.com, Greg at flippandoutpinball.com, Hell, Nicole, Sarah, Jody. We have a shipping. We have a shipping team member now, Dennis. So
Jody Dankberg?
That's right. Wow. Too soon? There are rumblings that Jody Dankberg is no longer with Stern in licensing.
I've heard some rumblings. But there's so many rumors out there.
I don't think he is. I think he is gone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, but not gone to Flipping Out.
No. This is a friend of ours.
I mean, you've stolen people from other pinball companies. So it comes up.
Stolen's a strong word, Dennis.
Kidnapped.
More value. I value them more, maybe. Providing more opportunities for, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity.
I like to help people grow.
Yeah, you're a helper.
I'm like a gardener.
Mm-hmm.
Really, with a green thumb. Pinball thumb. And that's why it makes this partnership with Multimorphic so good. Because I think with our powers combined, Bye.
I mean, it's not Captain Planet, but okay.
Heart. I always feel sorry for that kid. Everybody else gets a cool power. Heart. The fuck is that? Ender's Game. Now, this is coming out with Dungeon Crawler Carl. The same module features, different rules, different team, and everything. This content is entirely based on the book by Orson Scott Card, not the movie. It is the literature piece. While there are some dark undertones, Jerry, the owner of Multimorphic, says, the theme is family friendly. All right. Who's working on this game? Well, creative director is Steven Silver, and Josh Kugler's back. Josh Kugler. Rules by Colin McAlpine. Oh, tournament darling. Pinburg helper aficionado of rules. Did you see that thing he released with that? That was really awesome. Mechanicals by TJ Weaver and Trey Jones. Music by Aaron Williams and Paul Farrer. I'm going with Farrer. Sound design, Glenn Wechter. He's a hobbyist. Software, Josh Kugler, Steve Scheuer, and Ian Harrower. Artist, Brad Albright again. Really shines on this game. Technical artist. What is a technical artist? Rory Cernuda. I think Rory's been with them on previous releases as well. Technical artist. My ignorance here. I don't know what that is.
Maybe that has to do with the lower play field and making sure like the inserts and stuff. Maybe that's a piece of it.
Okay, makes sense. But we'll see. Email us. The animation, Steven Silver and Rory Cernuda. And voices, Glenn Wechter, Lucas Pepke. Our friend Lucas Pepke. Puppet Pals. Lucas Pepke. Yes. Macho Pinball. Lucas Pepke.
It's been so long. I can't even remember their voices anymore.
It's been 84 years.
Moppy.
Moppy? Yeah. And Rory? Still my favorite content ever.
That was like an acid trip of time. Whatever was going on in pinball back then.
Hobby did not deserve that one. Sam Tucker, Aileen Allen, and Alana Johnson, Cash Bailey. Just a cornucopia of characters here. Tyson and Eli Silver, the Young Bucks. Artwork. Okay. Jump in. What do you think? I'm not as familiar with this theme. So to me, it's like an original theme, kind of. I know of it. I'm not totally ignorant, but
right.
When I'm looking at the outside cabinet and translate portion of this game, that's what I love. Like, I love this as an original theme. It reminded me of, what spooky mock-up, and they brought to TPF years back. It was like a space theme kind of thing. It kind of reminds me of that. I like Brad Albright's colors and his compositions for what is an original theme to me, a space theme. So it looks damn cool.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh my God. I love that. Yeah, I don't like it. All right. Detail to us what you don't like about the art.
I think it's the people. I think it's the people in it.
Okay. People in general just bog you down, or his work of
just
people.
I don't like the left side of the cabinet and the hand and then the shadows.
That's Winchester like. That's one of his.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
Styles.
Here, I just don't. I'm not feeling it.
Does the Ender character do anything with their hands?
I recognize what they're trying to convey. I just, I don't know. And maybe purple's not one of my stronger color choices anyway. There's purple. Just a lot of purple.
Purples and blues will make you tilt.
So, it's just not.
This is not for you. It sounds like this art.
Art-wise, I would never not buy a game over the art though.
You'll buy Dungeon Crawler Carl and put that artwork.
Guys getting the little kids in the translite getting like blasted, and like the guy in the middle just beneath I'm assuming that's Ender, just beneath Ender's arm, and you just see the guy going like, wah! And he's just like, and it's just so, I don't know.
It looks like they're up against a pane glass, like they're watching what's going on out in this.
Well, then there's again, you might want to, since
I don't know.
I can't tell you to read the book because I didn't read the book. You might want to watch the movie and then you can see what that is.
What's it do with his hands?
I'm just saying, I get it. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lack of detail.
Doctor Stranging that?
It's just like he doesn't even have a face. He's too far away. I don't know.
What about the main character on the back glass? Is that Ender?
I guess it is because he's pointing with great Endery authority.
Yeah, that's big Ender energy right there. If I've ever seen it.
And he's also on the right side of the cabinet, blasting his little blaster.
Look at that hair. I'm jealous of that hair. That is a mop.
I kind of like the side of the cab better. The back box, excuse me. Like on the right, that face looks like, I don't know, this seems more detail in it. Like maybe it's that I just don't see any emotion in these faces.
Oh, you're an emotion guy. Okay.
Well, there's a lot of shadowing done, a lot of backlight shot. And I don't know, you look at it, if you didn't know what it was, you would say generic space fight.
Doesn't tickle your huevos. I would say it. If you're looking at top down playfield, do you dislike that equally, more or less?
In terms of the top down of the playfield.
Yeah, looking at plastics, theming.
I think the complaint would be that it doesn't feel like it's in the story. It's just generic. Star Trek. What was the complaint about the playfield? Do you remember back then? There's nothing Star Trek about it. It's just space. That's generic. What this is. It's just space station, generic space station. From an industrial standpoint, I like it. I like the color better on the playfield than I do on the sides and stuff. Like I like that those purples and stuff coming into play make it feel like it's some sort of sterile space military play. Like I get the vibe is right. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Like the vibe is right, but I can't help it, Zach. I'm thinking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I like Dungeon Crawler. Like it felt busier on the playfield, and
the artwork helped make it feel like that too.
And also it felt like though I could see the shots clearer with it. Here, I like the line work is really clean and stuff, but again, like I see the arrows, like the inserts are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. The bricks and stuff were certain colors on Carl.
I see what you're saying. So even though physically this shows definitely ball paths and stuff more, it's more confusing because it doesn't engage. The artist doesn't engage with shot paths as much as
the rest of the art doesn't seem to me, again, from these images, to lead my eye in the easy way that Carl's
feels flatter.
My eye.
Okay.
So again, I think the priority was to make the space station look like a space station.
Mm-hmm. And I totally get. I see what you're saying. That does make sense.
It's just there's just some pieces to it. It's not like I have any issues with how it's been drawn on that aspect.
But yeah, it does just look like a silver. And I mean, there's a lot of color, but a lot of the art textures are very much the same. Okay. I like the top-down look with maybe it's lighting, maybe it's a combination of the lighting and the artwork because it looks more magical. Like there's colors. I love the color, the purples and the blues, and then little flares of greens and reds. I love that color vomit that a lot of people object to. as we're jumping into the mechs and toys and stuff, this shows you really well, a lot easier for explaining Dungeon Crawler Carl. Look at that top layer of that circle thing. See how it has that plastic that diverts the ball once it comes off that wire form, diverts it to the left, or if that whole circle turns. It is a lot
easier to see here.
Yeah, it diverts it to the right. Same with the wire forms up top.
It's a clever idea.
It is.
It's clever.
With the
is
toys,
it fun? I don't know. But.
The toys and mechs on this game, I would say, so they're the same as Dungeon Crawler Carl, but you can see the whole back play field. You see the ball paths a hell of a lot better.
But these are so short that I prefer Carl's approach to covering that.
Okay. I'm wondering how people will feel about the distinction between the two, because I can see some people saying, I like this better because it shows the ball flying over to the other assembly better. I can see the orbit that turns into the wire form.
Rules will outweigh all of it. You'll have some people who will buy this because they love the book Ender's Game. Yeah. You'll have some people who will buy Carl because they're into Dungeon Crawler Carl. Anyone who's just about the gameplay, it's going to come down to the rules rather than even the visual of seeing the ball or not. I don't think anyone's going to be like, I wish I could watch the 4 inches that the ball bounces in the basically, glorified U-turn. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
On Ender's Game rather than it being masked in Dungeon Crawler Carl. Instead, I think it's going to be more like, what ends up happening with Colin's rules here. Like, if this is more balanced, the competitive style person will be drawn more to this one. And maybe if Carl is going more through a story of, again, I look at the play field for Enders and if it's all going to be about, so much of it just takes place as a kid being trained. So it's less like training missions.
Okay.
Again, I don't think this is going to make you feel the story. I just don't think it's going to do that. But
I don't know how deep this game is compared, but we do know the lead programmer, Colin McAlpine, is heavy into the competitive scene. He has a brain on him for pinball. Right. So regardless of what he creates, whether it's more depth or more basic approach, I would put money on it being very balanced and very cognizant of pinball rule sets and what competitive high-level players want.
If you don't know Ender's Game, we'll have to see. I don't know if the moments are going to stand out the same way. Like, I don't expect Dungeon Crawler Carl to drag us through the trauma of what happened on the above ground world and make us feel his character. It's going to be all about like the juicers and the ball is swung, like those fun, zany moments that happen with the action. That is going to be so easy for them to farm.
Yes. Yeah.
Ender's Game, I think, is harder.
What I'll say that when we were shown both trailers, the DCC Dungeon Crawler Carl kept a smile on my face the whole time just because of the call outs, seeing the ball go everywhere. This one did a really good job of showing a moment. So whenever, and you'll see it later, Dennis, but the lighting that they've added on these titles is phenomenal, especially around that ring. They do this thing where once they lock all the balls and they're getting ready to release them all, and that's why I told Jerry, like, what a freaking moment Ender's Game's got with the lighting programmed already. Because he was like, oh, we're just now starting with that. But this whole freaking thing, you see the wheel start, they're very controlled LEDs on that wheel, that circle. Those start flashing. The whole thing just freaking lights up, and it comes to this big old climactic moment. But I don't know what it was in relation to because I don't know the theme. But visually, it was stunning with the light work on this particular game, whereas DCC trailer was more story. It didn't show a lot of the crazy lighting effects in it. They're in both, but this one was like space, lighting, technology, almost like that Tron-esque type of metal electronics type of feel. Whether that's accurate or not to this theme, I don't know. But yeah, I see what you're saying we're lacking a lot of sculpts and stuff to see. And then when it comes to the layout and such, you have to go listen to our, if you're listening just to separate pieces, go back and listen to our Dungeon Crawler Carl comment on the layout, different things. But I do love that you can see visually what's going on in Dungeon Crawler Carl by looking at this. And when I said there's so much freaking going on that back third there, there's layers upon layers of shots and wire forms. that's my style of game. I love that. Okay. Rules, code, moments we don't know. Sound we really don't know. Animation, display, all time will tell. Pricing for this is cheaper than Dungeon Crawler Carl. The standalone kit, $4,400 for this game module. And if you're wanting to buy the P3 system with this game installed, that is $11,750. Sales prediction for this, we already kind of talked about that. You think 4-1 Dungeon Crawler Carl to this. I think that's accurate.
Had I heard about this rumor first, I wonder if I'd be more Ender's Game is loved by so many people, but again, it doesn't have this whole cultural phenomenon. Like who goes around cosplays from Ender's Game?
And my argument is this: I think at least 5-1, if not more, Dungeon Crawler Carl to this, because had they just released Ender's Game, no Dungeon Crawler Carl, it would have sold more units than what it's going to sell coming out at the same time as Dungeon Crawler Carl. I can almost guarantee you that. And what I will say is, even though it seems apples and oranges, my ignorance will say, maybe it's my feel. I feel that there's quite a bit of layover or quite a bit of overlap between lovers of Ender's Game and Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I think that because DCC is such a hot property right now, people who just really liked Ender's Game and would probably look to buy a pinball machine based on that may equally, if not more so, love Dungeon Crawler Carl and really want that right now. And maybe they buy both, because you can't play one within the other. You have to buy two different modules to play both games. So maybe they buy both. But I think if push comes to shove, we're getting some overlap there, which also hurts the sales of Ender's Game versus Dungeon Crawler Carl. Do you think coming out together, combined, they sell more than the other P3? Or do you think it's negligible adding this to the equation?
Yeah, in some ways, I would say it might have been better to wait like 6 months and then drop the second module, maybe.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people that I'm not sure will buy both module. Again, they're the same layout. But if you had people that weren't into DCC, but were into sci-fi and you waited 6 months, you might goose it a little bit better. But a lot of those people, if they're not into one of them and are into the other one, this strategy will work just fine too. So I bet. So my gut tells me there is a better way to min-max this than doing it this way, but I'm not sure. It may be marginal. It's probably...
Yeah, I think you risk...
This is how everyone's always done it. So
yeah, you risk really pissing people off too if you come out with something 6 months later and say, hey, you actually have to buy it all over again. I think...
But with it having a totally different rule set, I mean, it's not Shrek and Family Guy. It's totally different rule set.
Yeah.
It's just different.
I think they were smart doing it now. If you're going to do the dual thing, do it now.
But... the theory of sabotaging your own sales by selling something else does kind of come into play, where I personally suspect wholly original layouts of Ender's Game and DCC would sell more than doing this. But this was lower effort. Sure.
And it's about how much did it cost for you to pay for the license and for an additional team to work on a game versus, it's just all numbers. Okay, production timeline. So here's what I know about this. Same kind of thing. They're not going to start making these for months. However, or not start shipping them for months, probably towards the end of the year. Us dealers asked how this was going to be handled. Are you going to do DCC first, then Enders, or vice versa? That's actually going to be mixed in between. They're going to base it on their orders. So Jerry says it's quite logical. But we get a ton of one over the other, then we're just going to ratio it out to where we're getting more out of the game we have the most sales for versus the other. So they will go out in relationship to their sales numbers. Same with, I was surprised to hear he claimed that when it comes to like who's getting what shipped, he's doing it that way as well. So it's not like, Multimorphic direct sales is getting all of them shipped out 50 compared to the 50% of all dealers. It's very much split up between where the sales are going. So that's good too. But I think the first, were they at Gen Con this week? I don't know if that's announced or not. I think it is, in Indianapolis. And then you'll be able to play it at all the other, a lot of the other shows, the remaining this year, the Expo and different things coming up. If you're interested in Ender's Game, of course, purchase from flippingoutpinball.com or go to Ender's Game Pinball.com. No, that one I don't have, Dennis. I don't have Ender's Game Pinball. Yeah, I'm good letting that one go. But yeah, email us. We'd love to earn your business. And for those of you who are going to buy both modules, reach out to us because I'd like to know how many people are really going to buy both of them. I would think it would be a small percentage. But if people, book readers out there just are like, finally, they care about us. I thought they were just going to lean in on all the video games this year. This was the year that Zach said of the video games, and then everybody stole that and ran with it. So I get some book stuff. I'm gonna show them my support of all the book lovers out there. Yeah, maybe bookmarks make me horny. I don't know. Do people still use bookmarks, or do people do the digital? Can you really read on a digital screen? Ugh.
Yeah, I bought a new Kindle because mine actually is no longer supported. I had like a second gen Kindle.
Oh wow, iPod called.
Yeah, basically.
They want their girlfriend back.
But
they retired.
The little magnet ink. I don't get the ones with the color or anything, just the magnet ink. Real easy to read even in the sun.
They're black.
Well, there's like the Kindle tablets that have the,
okay.
Like they can do colors and stuff.
I don't think I'd like to read on a tablet.
The regular tablets, no, I don't like them because the reflection and stuff. But those little magnetic e-ink stuff, that's good. Real easy to read. Very comfortable. There's something about a physical book, the touch of the pages. No, I get it. I'm currently reading a Bob Woodward book physically because that's how I got it. So.
Oh, cool. Barrels of fun, Dennis.
Mm-hmm. A whole barrel of fun.
Well, that's how you describe recording these episodes.
Thought had Dungeon Crawler Carl, but they were wrong.
Wrong.
I've never seen such wrongness in this
Before
hobby.
we jump into their next game, we got to talk about a couple of things that prior to the release of this new game, they came out with something they're calling Barrels of Fun Reserve Club. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've seen some discussion on Discords, including in our not so private-ish Discord.
I kind of gave my opinions on our Discord, but for those who don't want to support us through patreon.com/thepinballshow, I guess I'll let you know about my thoughts quickly about this, because people are wondering how dealers would feel about it.
Yeah, how do dealers feel?
So this is a club that they came out with that essentially said, hey, you can be part of a subscription-based club. You pay this monthly or the yearly $75 for the year. And what you're getting is you're getting a bunch of swag. You're getting invites to members only events. But the big thing, I would argue the big thing was you get potentially a guarantee of every game that comes out. So the people that missed out on Winchester, gone are the days, they don't have to worry about missing out now. You don't have to worry about that potentially because there are rules associated with this. So
is it like the Fang Club?
Kind of like Spooky the Fang Club. But you remember the Fang Club kind of...
No, I didn't. Actually, I was going to ask you, is the Fang Club still around? Or?
I don't think it might be a thing. My apologies, Spooky, if it is, but it didn't... It's not doing what it was intended to do.
What was it intended to do?
Like it was like this whole, hey, I get to guarantee a new game and not miss out on a sold out game. But when they released the Fang Club, they did so in front of a game that didn't sell out. So it kind of people,
Oh, I see. It wasn't necessary.
Wasn't necessary. I think they did that right before, what was, may have been right before Scooby-Doo. They did it right before Halloween because it was kind of in response to Rick and Morty, I believe. Rick and Morty sold out immediately.
That would make sense. All right, I couldn't remember how long ago it was.
And I think, it was Halloween and Ultraman. Now, granted, they sold a lot of Halloweens, but I don't think it did what people thought it was going to do. So this, Barrels of Fun Reserve Club.
Yes.
Barrels of Club Reserve. Barrels of Fun Reserve Club. The stipulations here are, it's all of that. So you get to be a member of all this stuff and all fun and stuff. I'm going to be honest. It's convoluted. So I've had discussions with David Van Ness over at Barrels about my feelings associated with how this affects our partnership as a distributor for them. But I was able to put that to the side as well and say, even if I don't like it as a dealer, just as a consumer, as someone in this hobby, it's convoluted and it's kind of confusing the way it's presented. Because I didn't even know what it was after reading through it or what it meant. It felt like it meant you're guaranteed a game. If you sign up $75 for the year, every game they come out with, you get guaranteed. Now, granted, you have to buy direct, which is kind of the stipulation. I'm like, I don't like that. You have to buy direct, but you get guaranteed a game. However, it's not really like that. It is. When they come out with their reasoning for doing this, they didn't like seeing people left out on Winchester. They felt like they don't want to make people feel like they can't get a game that they're making. The business side of it would argue they didn't want to miss out on the games they could have sold. It was their choice
that made people miss out. I mean, they chose to limit the number.
Yes, which my argument is partially why it was successful.
I would agree.
Quickly selling out as it was. That Carl D'Angelo was a big factor in there. A couple of factors. They didn't want people to miss out on that. So they're creating this program that says, hey, you're not going to potentially miss out. So when announcing a new title, they're going to say how many they're limiting the game to initially. So they're going to put a number on that. If they sell out of those games within 7 days of their launch, then they can dip into those reserve members and say, which one of you guys can now be guaranteed this game? How many of you would like to have this game? But if the number they announce at launch is not reached sales-wise in the first 7 days, is how I understand it, then the reserve does not go into effect, in which case those individuals aren't guaranteed a game. My retort to that, to Barrels of Fun, was, well, they're still guaranteed a game because it didn't sell out. So they can then just buy the game. So they're essentially still guaranteed pretty much. I mean,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, but if it didn't sell out and then let's say people got to, like, let's say it went to Southern Fried, like they announced 10 days later, it's at Southern Fried. Everyone's like, holy crap, this is amazing. And in the next 3 days, it sells out. And then the reserve people didn't get they didn't buy it. And now they can't.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's weird. It's all weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the thing. When it comes to limited numbers, I probably have lots of rules, but I have one rule. I'll just say I have one rule, Zach. Don't make me do math. I shouldn't have to do math to know how many of a limited something is being made. You already had two choices. You can limit the count or you can time limit it. Merging those two concepts together just makes it messy. Why would you be messy?
It's not even a merge. It's, hey, we're going to initially have this number, but keep in mind, there could be more people buying this that we give the opportunity to. We're not going to tell you what that number is. They're not going to tell us how many people are in their reserve club, right? Could be. Are
they going to tell us the final count, though, if they do that? Like, oh, it sold out in 6 days, and I add another 33 people buy?
I don't know.
So now it's 1,033
Because then that would tell us how many people are in their reserve club.
Well, it would tell us how many bought from the reserve club. It wouldn't be right to assume that everyone in the reserve club will buy every game.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So maybe that's what they will end up.
I still don't care for this.
It's weird. It's odd that when you come out, let's use hypotheticals. Next game, let's say they have 500. They come out. They say, here's our next game. We're going to, because they have to say initially, they can't say we're making 500 games because that's not true. They're going to say we're initially limiting this to 500 games. If it sells 500 in the first 7 days, then they go to their reserve. Let's say they have 400 people in their reserve. So potentially they are going to make 900. But of those 400 people, what if 100 want them? So then they would make 100 plus 500, which would be 600. Yes. You'll never know. My argument is you have overnight killed any collectability based on limitability or limited.
Yeah. Those that collect for scarcity will be turned off by this process.
And they claim they want to get rid of scalpers, so that helps this. I don't think it I don't really think it does any of that. I think if anything, it hurts scalpers because it hurts the value of your product in general. The value long term.
I do think it would help with scalpers, but it could be because of the price you're paying. Yes,
and because they can make as many as $75. Why wouldn't everybody sign up if they're really worried about that? $75 for the year. If people are really worried about missing out, sure, $75. It's fine. It's a weird program. I think that what got them to where they're at now are things that this program is getting rid of. And if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Labyrinth, they sold over 1,000 units and they did great. They come out with Dune. Initial sales were not strong. Now they're very strong. They're going to end up building probably 800, if not more, 800 to 900, with still the option to go back and build a couple hundred more in the future if they ever wanted to. That game is now selling for much more than MSRP, believe it or not, Dunes. And then they came out with Winchester. They, in my opinion, very smartly capped it at $525. Everything about that launch and the art, the rules, the theming, it all was damn near perfect. And they were rewarded with an immediate sellout, within 24 hours, immediate sellout. So then they had this momentum. And they not only were successful in that product, they were successful in brand growth and identity. And what only few manufacturers are capable of doing is selling your future product because of the success of your current product. So that would have, in my opinion, really helped them sell the next product that comes out. But with this program, it promises some people who missed out on Winchester to be able to get their Winchester in the future. However, if that's the case, Winchester would not be selling for $20,000 as it is now. It would be selling for quite less, in which case, if the game is great, the game is great. It'll sell. But I like hedging my bets on multiple ways for something to be valuable to a consumer base. I've told David this and the team over there. If you make great things, you never have to worry about anything. If they're truly top 5% great things, sure. But even the best people can't. And you've said it yourself, Dennis. You're going to have something that's just really good, or something that's great, not profound. And I don't know. I don't like this program. But I'm a dealer. I'm very biased. I think it's horrible for the dealerships, partnerships that they have. I'm not going to be quiet about that. I think it's horrible, just horrible. I don't like that I found out about this program when they launched it. But it doesn't make sense to me, because as a dealer, my argument is I've potentially lost all my customers that I've built up for the last 3 years through working with barrels to get to this point. Pinball at the Sea. I
don't care about that.
That's
either.
Little Mermaid. You don't care about a pinball gathering on the open seas? Yeah.
It sounds like a recipe for norovirus.
The seaweed is always greener. No. Okay. I love cruises, so I love this. And, but I don't know about going on a cruise with, I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense for me to go, because there's a lot of money and time, but I'd love to go. I don't know if it's in my best interest to go. Can you play pinball I don't. Yeah.
There's not a lot of, is there a lot of rocking on these giant ships?
No, there's not on the giant ships. But I mean, we get emails because something is, their level is on the playfield and it's 0.01 skewing to the left and everything else. So I think it's a playfield issue. Like, we get people want to return games for a 0.01, skew and flatness. So we'll see. We're going to get you on this cruise. But that's one of the, I
don't think I would do that.
The perks or something. The other thing with the Reserve, they close it before they launch the next title, and they did close it. So next title is upon us.
How interesting.
Barrels of Fun releases their next game. Licensed their first music pen. So it's always like every manufacturer's got to have a music pen, don't they?
It does sort of feel that way, yeah.
Yeah, you got to try, you throw it in the ring. Their music pen is based around the iconic hit band. Are they a band?
Yeah, it's a band.
Band Bon Jovi.
Wow. Do you think this is a big thumb
you
in the
on
eye?
A prayer?
Well, I was actually referencing Living on a Prayer. This was a thumb in the eye to JJP, because JJP had Willy Wonka, and Living on a Prayer has the chorus with the Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa. So that's how that part's always supposed to be sung. Oompa Loompa.
Do you like Bon Jovi music?
Yeah, it's not. I don't. We kind of talked about music earlier before we started recording. I don't think I have a single song like in my playlist though, so I can't say that I've. Yeah, Living on a Prayer's been in there before. I just don't currently. I must have purged it for some reason. So maybe too many Oompa Loompas.
Then again, you do give love a bad name, so there could be that.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of them. Like I had friends growing up who loved Bon Jovi. You know, it's kind of that pop rock, hard rock kind of style, not too edgy, but popular, easy to listen to, safe to play on the radio. Actually, I remember him. I think he guest starred on a few episodes of West Wing back in the,
really?
Back in the, yeah, I think so.
How about that?
Yeah, I think so. I'll have to double check that. Correct. Email thepinballshow@gmail.com if I'm wrong or right, I guess, because I'm not looking it up right now. Yeah, I think so.
The music's fantastic. Wanted, Dead or Alive.
It's good pinball music. Like when you might
Run
think
Away.
when people hear Elton John and they think it's probably going to be too slow and stuff. No, this will be more like Guns N' Roses, where people will be like, oh yeah, no, Bon Jovi. Yeah, I could see people rocking out. AC/DC. I can see people rocking out to shooting the silver ball while listening to this stuff.
It's perfect for that. And Living on a Prayer is probably one of the greatest classic rock songs of all time. I mean, yes. Iconic.
It's probably my favorite of the Bon Jovi songs, but
yeah, I do love that music. But then again, is this a theme that like screams to me? No, it's just not. Like it's in a way I like it. I love Elton John music too, but Elton John as a theme doesn't scream.
This is
to me.
a bit newer than some of the other stuff we've talked about, but this is going to get immediately lumped in as dad rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's
quintessential
just not,
dad rock.
Yeah. One might say it depends, those of us who are old will think dad rock was the stuff our dads listened to. So we're going to say like after you get outside of the 70s, it's not really dad rock anymore. But Bon Jovi, let's put it this way. Ain't no Foo Fighters.
No, it's a dad rock.
And so we were doing so good, Zach. We were doing so well. We got to the point after Foo Fighters where people were seriously discussing whether or not Stern might pull the trigger on Taylor Swift or something, or Beyonce, something that would be more associated with
Lady
today.
Gaga.
And then here's Barrels with their Barrel Reserve, and just as aged as whiskey is their band pin.
That's a good one. I like that one. Bon Jovi. What? Does Nirvana not work yet? Well, I think Nirvana
I've wondered
works
if
great.
Because of the suicide of the lead, if it's sort of seen as we're not going to touch this.
We can make fun of Abraham Lincoln getting assassinated at this point in pop culture, but we can't have a Nirvana.
Well,
pin?
no one's alive who remembers Abraham Lincoln, like who had ever met him.
That's
I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer, Zach. I'm just saying.
Is it because Kurt Cobain was murdered? Is that why?
I've wondered if it's.
You've wondered that too.
Also, no. I've wondered if it
was
also.
an overdose.
No, I've also wondered if it. And again, we've seen plenty of exceptions to things like like talking about Elton John and such. But is grunge pinball music?
If it's Nirvana. What is Rage Against the Machine? Is that grungy? Or is that alternative? I don't know what that is.
I don't know the answer anymore.
Nirvana works. All right. Sorry.
People would buy Nirvana, so I think it works even if one might instinctively not initially think that you want to shoot the ball around to.
You think it works better or worse?
Smells like Team Spirit, but I mean, Bon Jovi, as pinball music goes, it seems this is a very safe bet in some ways, but likewise, I can't think of a single, I don't read all the forums, Zach. I don't talk to and listen, I talk to all the pinheads. I don't listen to all the pinball podcasts. Did anyone ask for Bon Jovi?
I don't believe so.
This reminds me of when there was the rumor going around that JJP's ownership wanted Bob Marley.
Oh, yeah, the Bob.
Nobody asked for Bob Marley and nobody asked for Bon Jovi. Nobody asked, even though they're both great artists. Nobody asked. You know what they did ask for, Zach?
What they asked for?
They asked for Fleetwood Mac.
Praise everything.
You want to do Dad Rock? There you go.
Come on, Dennis and Zach.
Mac.
We will collab together. We will do a Fleetwood Mac. Okay, let's jump into Bon Jovi. What do we know about this game? We know a lot.
We know too much, maybe.
Yeah, they just announced this game. I was wanting to tell people, follow along as we're talking about this game. You can always follow along, look at the official pictures. Ken and Greg did a great interview over at Flip N Out Pinball Podcast. They did a video interview of this game and the creators, so go check them out. Everybody's got to do a band pin. The people who made this game, designed David Van Ness, art John Bergeron again. Johnny Crap came back for this one. And that's all I know offhand. My apologies to the team there. I don't have all the information at this point right now, even though this is the launch day. Just go with me there. Let's jump into the artwork. Looking at this artwork, this is a different vibe. Feels like the JJP's GNR. This almost feels like Data East GNR. Some of the
are you thinking playfield and looking at Bon Jovi down there at the flippers and how that is composed?
It seems like it's supposed to be dated.
Yeah, I think so.
The cabinet art looks like Johnny Crap did his illustration of young John Bon Jovi with a lot of the gig posters and
old Bon Jovi,
the album art. Yeah. Oh, the backlash.
Yeah, lots of this kind of felt a little bit, although diversified, obviously. But yeah, getting back to Guns N' Roses. A lot of album art, montaging going on the cabinet.
That's what makes me feel like it's like that.
My reaction to the art package is this is very safe, like cabinet wise and stuff. I think this was I think it's logical. It's safe. It's well put together. I think it's visually pleasing. I don't. It
doesn't turn me off. It doesn't wow me.
Yeah. It playfield wise, going with that more old school style, it was interesting. I think that's kind of cool. It's a little kitschy. I don't know if like lots of people are really going to love it, but having the big like his guitar kind of as the featured art on most of the middle of the playfield and stuff. We've talked before. I know you're a real big fan of having like a big set piece rather than like lots of little heads around and stuff.
Yes, I like the big
This
stuff.
leans more into that, and I think here it works pretty well.
Yeah, look.
I don't know about the 90s drawing of Bon Jovi down there at the flippers. That's still, I think most people aren't going to care for that, but
it feels kind of almost like Rush. Rush was bad, but remember Rush with the...
It's kitschy. This is kitschy. I think, because again, then we start having some photos of the band through the years and stuff as we move up the playfield. It's, it's okay.
When we talk about, so artwork is whatever. It's not blowing my socks off.
It's fine.
Toys, mechs, features like that. So Dennis, jump into what because you gave me something, one of your first impressions. I was like, oh, damn, I can see that now.
Well, the big thing that's going to stand out, I think, to people is going to be the Heart and Dagger there. It's the Heart and Dagger, which is a magnetic ball catch, and it serves as a diverter. It's 3-level, which is cool. Yeah. But that being said, you're going to see it. You're going to see its position, and you're going to think Rush.
The ramp thing in front of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's practically where the Rush shot is. The toy itself will thus also remind you of Lord of the Rings ring shot, because though not necessarily.
And kind of Time Machine Rush. where the ball stays in there. It can do multiple things.
Again, it's like, so it can go up, it can hold the ball while it lifts, but it's definitely, I don't want to use the word safe too much, but this
is a safer game. I'm with you on that.
There's been so much about barrels and their world under glass that I felt like I see when I see their game. And then I see this and it feels derivative.
Like banned games.
They've got the 3-ball, what they called it on the flyer, the Steel Horse 3-ball lock, which is a hidden magnet back orbit that can divert the ball into a vertical upkick that feeds a physical 3-ball lock. I'm pretty sure I've seen this done before.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't expect every pinball game to innovate. But for a game, like, because they're doing music instead of a world under glass, the question becomes, how do you convey the world of music under glass? Do you do full GNR and you make it feel like an actual stage show? No, they've gone more the traditional route here of trying to take elements from albums, maybe a little more like Elton John, a little more, taking elements.
This thing does light up like a Christmas tree. More than any of their other game.
Well,
it's a crazy light shows.
And I think the idea with they've got the 2 little mini flippers in play here, in addition to the standard 2 flippers at the bottom.
Well, no, did you hold up?
The shot geometry I think is kind of interesting.
You said standard flippers at the bottom.
Well, they're lightning flippers technically, but
who does that? I give them, that's cool. They came out with lightning flippers game in 2026. The Bram Stoker's Dracula. What is this? That is madness. I kind of like that. I do like that.
I still don't know if there's actually a bigger flipper gap here though, or if they shortened the gap and just use lightning flippers for space reasons. So because that's why I didn't get super excited about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because also is that a center post below the ball save light?
Yes.
It's a center post. It's a center post, yeah. Now I respect that. The layout's actually, I think, kind of interesting here.
It's one of the highlights for me. Yeah.
So there's the flipper in the left out lane to fire it back into. What do you think of that?
That's one of the, cause I'm mixed on this game. Ultimately it's a barrels game. I can see what they're doing. It's going to be a phenomenal game. It's going to be good, but I'm mixed on the theme. I'm mixed on the looks of it. I'm mixed on a lot of things. Do we need a Bon Jovi game? So I'm not here saying this is the second coming. There are some things that stand out that I love, and believe it or not, I do love that. I love that whole crowd surfing, jumping back into the thing.
Like that it actually lets you shoot a shot into the play. So that part, I like otherwise that. I remember flipper ball saves from Zaccaria pins like Farfalla. Yeah. So, and they are just kind of like the ball drains so quick. It can be kind of like the Jedi ball save in the new Star Wars trilogy game, where people feel frustrated by it. It's a question of how quick does it drain? Do you feel like or is it going to be like that? Is it going to be like Foo Fighters where it felt like you really did have a good chance?
This is Uncanny X-Men to me. It's this, hey, if you let it go past that flipper, you're going to lose the ball. But if you time it just right, you can get it back into play. I think it makes sense to the theme. So this is one of the standout features to me that sets it apart from other games. I like
and it's cool that it's the jump ramp that it's going off of. Yep. Hence the crowd surfing. But I
like that.
Yeah.
And what's this loop-de-loop thing? Captive ball, loop-de-loop. It's bizarre looking. I like it, but I don't know how it kind of works. So that's kind of fresh and different. I just like the layout. Barrels does a good job of just giving you different shots on a layout that don't feel the same. Granted, the placement of the main toy, that gives me total rush vibes.
So my overall takeaway is I do think that the layout looks interesting to shoot.
Yeah,
whether it'll be fun or not. I want to try it. I like that it does actually, as I start to drill down, it does feel like those aspects are different. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that none of the toys actually look all that, different.
Well, yeah, because it's like, what are you going to do for a theme of Bon Jovi? Like, what are you going to bring toy wise? I don't know. Like, they have a lot of ball locks, which always good for us pinball people. We like physical ball locks, and they have that in spades here. But other than, I love the lighting on this. Just believe me when I say,
but I don't like talking about lighting because nobody screws up lighting anymore.
Really good point. But like even the Bon Jovi sign in the back, that seems simple, but I really like that. I like the size of it. I like that it's
nice. Yeah,
it's almost like the Kiss topper.
And you got art blades, helping it feel lived in on the sides and stuff. It's not just black. I mean, they got the usual barrels touches that help, I think, make it be as immersive as it can be. Except
for me, barrels is becoming like that. I can bank on them making an awesome, beautiful, detailed game. They're like becoming that JJP like for me, where I'm like, regardless of the theme, regardless of the toy, like it's going to be spectacular to look at. So that'd be my biggest compliment for barrels. I'm not worried about that. It's just my expectations for barrels is higher than I have for a lot of people. So that's why it may sound mixed here. For example, like the powder coat, for some reason, whoever's picking out powder coat over at barrels, they need a raise. That the powder coats that like Winchester, maybe the best powder coat package in all of pinball. This is reminiscent to that. It's stunning, and they're spending more time and energy and probably money on simple details like that. Same as like the apron. I love the little details of like the levers on the apron for that amp kind of thing. The levers move up and down. Remember Winchester, how the Ouija board kind of thing lit up.
Oh yeah.
So they're doing the extra little things that it's going to be hard to walk up to this thing and not stand out as something special to everything else. But from a pinball perspective, not really the theme that I'm looking for. Artwork is fine, but that's what kind of bums me out about this whole deal. But yeah, they're still going to have the Evergloss, high gloss, rad cow kind of things on the side. Another bummer for me, back panel LCD. That's been a Barrels thing. We got that in all games. We got it in Pepper's Ghost in Winchester, but we got interactive on Dune, Labyrinth, not here. Now they said that doesn't always didn't really call for this theme. I don't know if I believe that. I think if anything, the things they want to add kind of blocked so much so that it seems like an afterthought. So why put the money into the backboard LCD? My argument would be because that's your thing. That's part of what helps identify your games from others. Do that, and then anybody else that does that because it's a brilliant idea is kind of trying to take your thunder. Don't let off the gas now with that thing. So I would have liked to have seen that at the backboard. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I was re-reviewing some of the video footage to try and understand exactly how the captive ball thing works. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's just designed to allow you to use the captive ball to hit a spinner, and then it just drops back into position. Okay. I think it goes up top and drops back into position. It's hard. It goes real quick, so it's hard to tell. But
you can just rip that thing then.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'll actually say I think that's more clever than a lot of most of the ball locks are like I'm getting shadow vibes. Where balls are getting grabbed and then thrown into something or thrown into another thing that then up kicks just so it can drop down to kind of give you a quasi Godzilla without having to have an entire building come down, sort of thing. Again, all fine, but not,
nothing revolutionary here. Nothing.
No. And again,
breaking the molds.
I think that's fine. It's just, they're also not very visually interesting though, is maybe where that's kind of,
they're more mechanical in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you there. We don't know. I mean, sound of this game is going to be, if they're playing the songs, that's what you're looking forward to on this game. Yeah. I think that Bon Jovi wanted this game made. If hopefully I'm not speaking out of, but I think that Bon Jovi was looking for.
What band doesn't want to be in a pinball machine?
Absolutely. But there's only certain amounts that make sense for them to even have that discussion. Right. So that's how big Bon Jovi is. Animation display, I don't know. Pricing, I don't even, again, I know this is launch, and technically at launch I do know, but go with me here. I don't know what the pricing is. How do you think this thing will sell?
What do we want to compare to?
There are other
I'll say
releases?
that. I'll put it this way. Okay, yeah, then I'll do that. I think this sells worse than Dune.
Oh, okay. All right.
But not much worse.
Let's say Dune 800.
Yeah. I'll say this is going to break 5.
Okay, so you think it sells more than Winchester?
Yes. I think this will sell probably between 600 and 800.
If it wasn't for that Barrels Reserve, because I'm with you. If the rules are good, as they have been spectacular on the previous Barrels games, then I'm with you. Yeah, it's going to sell that many.
It's a music pin. I'm assuming we're just going to play songs. We're not going to go through a story. People aren't going the Muad'Dib adventure or trying to win the story, like the moments of Labyrinth. It's just a stage show.
One of the good things that was cool, though, is Vaness was telling me that, yeah, sure, they have concert footage and stuff too, but I think they have some music video footage too. That would be, because we don't see music pins do that. They don't get the rights of the music videos.
But generally speaking, with very few exceptions like Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle, exceptions like Foo Fighters, it's not a story, and because of that, I feel the immersion is never there the same way. Yep. The whole, like, I think
which turns me off of band pins.
Right. I think band pins are better location pins than a lot of things.
Or casual playing.
But there's a reason why you hear people got to the point where they're like, why do we have to keep having more band pins? And you never heard people going, why do we have to have yet another movie pin? Mm-hmm. It's like, it's different, right? Absolutely like true. Band pins almost always have the same fundamental structure. You pick a song. Maybe the song changes the rules or the shots you have to do, but you just pick a song and you play through the game. And the game is just playing songs. And hey, you got to some special. It's not like go and we'll do 3 Guardian modes and then we get to do Cherry Bomb. And it's like, it holds them back. I think that's why there's the frustration.
I'm kind of signing up to all barrel stuff just because it's just, I love the looks and the feel of these games. They just look so damn good. And they're so back. Like they have all the damn options, like a spooky game. You had all the options already on them. I love it. Okay. Production timeline. I think they'll probably start making these sooner than later because I don't know what else they're going to be building. Because they've built pretty much all their dunes. They've built all their Winchester kind of thing. So, and again, no different models. Barrel's going to stick to their one model, fully packed. I should have one of these. Hopefully we'll get one soon. We'll do some media on it, stream it. I want to get my hands on this thing to really. This could be the greatest game ever. Right now, I'm tempering my expectations on what this is, but we're halfway there. Might be living on a prayer. But as always, if you're looking to order a Bon Jovi game yourself, I think this is going to be a heavy, maybe a women flock to the Bon Jovi. They love the Bon Jovi, right? They get all hot and bothered by the Bon Jovi. I think that's the whole thing. Back in the 80s, I don't think I'm telling anybody a secret here. Bon Jovi played to the ladies and to some dudes too, but he is sexy. I think this is a women's kind of, they like the Jovi. But if you're wanting to like the Jovi yourself, maybe you have a spouse that wants the Jovi. Go to flippandoutpinball.com, order yours today, or email me at Zach, Z-A-C-H, at flipthenOutpinball.com. Are you a reserve member? Remember, even if you are a reserve member, damn it, you can still buy from your dealer. We can still guarantee you one too. Why not? We know how many games we're getting. Well, we'll guarantee you one. Support Barrels by giving them $75. Support Flipping Out by giving us the sale. Then everybody's happy. Because Barrels, they just created this so that everybody can come together and get swag and events and stuff. Do them that service. Hell, I'll get you a membership for you. Give us the sale. Is that fair, Dennis? Maybe that's a promotion we should do. I'll sign you up to the membership.
In no way sounds desperate.
That's right. I'll sign you up to their membership so you can get the t-shirts. Give me the sale. We got to thank some people. Speaking of ladies being crazy over Bon Jovi, ladies are crazy for our Screaming Goat Club members too. Yes, absolutely. Like Rodney. Bobcat. Yeah, Bobcat. I could see him being in a band, the Bobcat. Yeah. Josie and the Bobcats.
Oh, shoot that fucker!
I think that works. What about Rob, the Panther? The Bobcat and the Panther start a band. Do you think Rob would be, what instrument would Rob play in the band?
Bass.
The bass? Doom, 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 boom. Just cool. Okay. Thank you, Rob, for the support. Frankie. He's a guitarist. Come on. Frankie is a guitarist. The Falcon. Charlie, I love you.
Ding dong and thank you.
Definitely on the what is it? The chimes? What are those things?
Cowbell.
It's the bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
You got it. William, the dude. What did the dude play? The dude, I don't know, would play an instrument. I don't know if the dude needs to. He'd just sit in a lawn chair up on stage with them all.
But I am very busy, as I imagine you are.
His instrument of choice would be a doobie. Even though William, I don't think, partakes. But, yeah. Adam, Papa, thank you so much. What would Adam be? Lead vocals.
You are my Papa!
With a baby on a baby Bjorn. Singing backup. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Basha!
Papa. Ted. Red and Ted. The Red October. Still the dumbest. That and Shaker
It's the best one. It's the best one of all of these.
Just wait. Dennis is pitching one for this next new guy. All right. The Red October. Red and Ted. Thank you for the support. Would he be a roadie? I think he'd be the roadie.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
setting up the lights and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Behind the scenes, under the water. Mm-hmm. One ping. Davis. I love you, Costanza. He is our Costanza. Appreciate the support. Davis. What would Davis be doing?
Why couldn't you make me an architect? You know I always wanted to pretend that I was an architect.
Synthesizer, maybe.
The synth? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. I was going with banjo, but I'll go synthesizer. Doug? Sweet, sweet Douglas. Yeah, that's right, Gopher.
Maracas. Cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha. Thank you, Dennis, for that. Wally. Oh, we love you, Wally. Yeah, we've got rid of you as a used car salesman. Now you're just that little lovable robot.
It's too instinctive.
I know. Yeah, you're definitely doing electronics. You're doing all that stuff. We'll even give you merch. You're doing merch too. The band T-shirts and everything. Sweet Wally. Well, if he was the robot, he would be doing trash pickup. And he trash compactor. Wally. What will we do without you, Wally? Wally, hopefully you're in the next happy hour hangout.
Hey, that's coming up this Wednesday.
This Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. Be there. Patreon.com/The Pinball Show. Sign up at the Nordman or the Screaming Goat Club levels. And we have a new...
goat. That's why I wore my goat shirt.
You
my
did.
Pinball Show goat
shirt off the goat. That's a nice looking polo. It is. It's a nice one. We have a new Screaming Goat Club member. Love this guy with most of my heart. I don't want to say all my heart. People know I'm lying. With most of my heart. He's a big collector. He's got a big collection. He's got good taste too. Really good taste. But we didn't know. The one thing I know about this guy, because you pitched me something, it was so deep on a level. Tell everybody what you pitched this guy. What's his nickname? What is he? Because I was like, what in the hell is that?
Yeah,
he's
gonna. I know you like animals, Zach. So he's the Inca Tern.
Right. It's like the Red October all over again. The Inca Tern.
Yeah, all along the coastal areas of South America, Peru.
I didn't know where Dennis was going.
Famed area, Ecuador, Chile.
Oh, who doesn't know about the Inca Tern? The Inca Tern. This is a bird, right? A fowl.
It is a bird. Yeah.
He'd get messed up by a falcon. What does this animal have going for it? So we looked it up a picture, and Dennis is working on different levels here. So we looked up this beautiful bird, but this bird looks as if it has a mustache, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is this Justin feller that is our dude, Justin here. You're the Inca Turn. I'll never remember Inca Turn. I gotta write that down.
I think you will. Turn. That's why we have notes.
Yes. Inca Turn. I am sorry for that horrible nickname, but go with us. It's really cool. This guy, he rubs things in people's faces. Not like on a legal level. That'd be weird. But I was sending this guy, what was it? Beetlejuice? No, it was Transformers. I think Justin was getting a Transformers LE. Said, hey, Transformers LE, got great news for you. This is me typing as I speak real loud and emphatic. Backspace, backspace. You've got Transformers coming, my friend. Get happy, get horny. It's on its way. Free shipping. Bye, bye, bye. And he was like, I'm out of town at the moment. I'm on a vacation, a Caribbean vacation. And then he proceeds to send me pictures of said vacation. And this was weeks back when I was really due for a vacation. And it got me a little crusty, got me a little jealous. I was happy for him, but not happy for me. It was beautiful. And then he sent me a picture. This is the one that rubbed it in, of him sitting like in this lawn chair all smug. And like, he was probably trying to be nice. I projected it as smug. And he was all like smiling with his shirt off. It wasn't like showing his, but he was enjoying life on the beach, as he should be. And the only thing that stuck out to me was how wonderfully happy he was. But he had one hell of a mustache that would bring envy upon most of men and women. It's like, what are the women? They like the stash guy, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Burt. Yeah,
he can be. That's his little pseudo nickname here. He's the Burt Reynolds, or the what's the other mustache guy back in the 80s?
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck got a mustache that's more popular than him. He's got a longer set list. Where do you think Tom Selleck's mustache has been? If you were a fly on the wall of that mustache, Dennis, whoa, that little broom has been a lot of places, my friend. Yeah. Now, I don't know if Justin Stachio has been to all of those places, but it's thick. So Dennis was reaching down, finding animals with mustaches. So the Inca Turn is what we're going with this week. We'll see what pops up the next
you'd appreciate
episode.
With your Tom Selleck references, because the Inca Turn is a plunge diver.
Oh, well. I love your face when you know you did something good. You're like, how about that? Yeah.
I've weaved a lot of gold this episode. I feel like you've only appreciated about 30% of it.
I only catch well, that's being gracious, I feel. But now I'm thinking of the travels of Tom Selleck's stash. Man, do you think that thing has a smell to it? Is he alive still? If he's dead, it definitely has a smell.
I don't know if they still are doing that show Blue Bloods that was on CBS, I think. But
he's actually critically acclaimed, that show.
Yeah, no, I think that's his show. I think he's on that. I don't know if he stars in it or what, but
I was attracted to Selleck back in the 80s, and I wasn't even born. So nicely done. A reminder. Thank you again, Justin, and for all of you Screaming Goat Club members. We got to hang out at an upcoming show. Let's do it. Discord, though. Right now in Discord, we're talking about all the new releases. You've got to go to our Happy Hour Hangout. Sign up at the Nordman or the Screaming Goat levels this Wednesday at 8. Hopefully this will be out by then, but I think it should be. Where can people catch you?
If they want to email me directly, they can always email eclecticgamerspodcast@gmail.com.
Email us at the pinball show at gmail.com as well. Follow, like, and subscribe. Please, if you're watching this on video, do us a solid. Just hit the follow button. Dennis, we did reach our 1,000 viewer threshold, or 1,000 subscribers.
We've done it. All right, we can,
thanks.
Can retire the YouTube now.
Jeez, man.
How's Joel doing? He get to the 10,000?
I'm helping carry the bags too.
I'm looking it up. 9.9. Wow.
We're only like 100 away. But
does it count if you do the lift for him?
Well, it's a team approach here at Flip N Out Pinball. So, I'm doing some of the reels, the first impressions, first looks, that kind of stuff, the exclusive videos. So, but he's doing a good. What was he streaming last week?
Was it John Wick?
John Wick. He's got a tutorial coming out. He's been doing Transformers, Sonics. He's been on it. I think he's going to have Transformers LE back. Hopefully we'll get a Bon Jovi. Hopefully we will get him. I wonder what comes first to streaming or to my studio to film. Bon Jovi or Dungeon Crawler Carl or Stern Anniversary Game or Yukon Yeti. What the hell happened to Yukon Yeti? Turn it.
I forgot about it.
What the hell happened? I think they're shipping some out. What the hell am I doing not getting one of the first? Oh, fuck. I give up.
You had joined the Yukon Reserve Club.
I can give up. Bought a ton of those things. Flipping out. We gotta plug Flipping Out like Tom Selleck's mustache be plugging people back in the 80s.
When I buy my pinball shit, I buy from Flippin' Out. From toppers, sharp blades, premiums, I've got it figured out. Flippin' out, figured out. When I think of pinball, I think Flippin' Out. Flippin' out, figured out. When I buy from Flippin' Out. Buy.
Product showcase this week is the DCC. It's what all the kids call it. And the BJ. Whoa, Bon Jovi. Well, we can't do BJ because Beetlejuice. What are we going to do? JBJ? What are we going to do? Or just Jovi?
Just call it just Jovi, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Bon Jovi, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Ender's Game, if you will, if you're nasty. But DCC is where it's at this week. Bon Jovi is where it's at. Order buy from Flip N Out. Buy. Please do. If you're going to consume all the content, we're helping you ship, trade, and end games. So just show us some love. Show us some love. Tales of the Arabian Nights remake. Order that. Sonic the Hedgehog, Transformers, Harry Potter, all the hotness. Pokemon, minus Pokédex. The Walking Dead remastered. All of the games. Trade in your game. Do it. Everybody else seems to be doing it, and they're loving it. You know what? Most people that trade a game with us, Dennis, they trade a subsequent game. That's how happy they are with that process. And now we have announced at Flip N Out Pinball, Jody, she is doing all of our shipping. So we're making some big leaps with shipping. And pretty soon we will be shipping in ways that some of you weren't even expecting. So follow, like, and subscribe to that as well. Straight down the middle. We'll do videos at some point again. And go check out Flipping Out YouTube. We're close to 10,000. The podcast with Ken and Greg, that video that he did with barrels, go check that out. And I think he did first impressions on DCC and the Multimorphic stuff. Joel I think he's got a Batman 66 tutorial. He came out with a Sonic tutorial. He did what other tutorials? He's done like Tales of Arabian Nights remake tutorial, John Wick tutorial. Dude's on it. First impressions, Joel. People love the Joel. They do love the Engelberth. And I think that's about it. Teach them something.
I would say, when considering doing pinball releases and you're thinking about music pins, you manufacturers, ask yourself, why have I picked what I've picked and why isn't it Fleetwood Mac?
Buy.
The Rumors album alone would be your art, and just sell it. Like, I don't know why you're making this hard with your Marleys and your Jovies, and I don't understand.
And always practice safe pinball. And God damn it, Din, stop making so much sense. It's a good one though. God damn it, Din.
It's reasonably clever. Yeah. Someone would probably.
Would you go? That. God damn it, Dennis, or would you go? God damn it, Din. I was thinking on the fly because donut is 2 syllables. Dennis probably works, but Din, people like to hear. See you guys.